welcome back to NLC Division 2 Playoffs. I am Carvis once again here, joined by Zapdos for another losers bracket match between Lazy in Life and Unique. Welcome aboard.
Thanks, man. Carvis, it's been a couple months.
Yeah,
Finally get to have ourselves joined in the lower bracket. Unique versus Lazy in Life should be a very interesting matchup. I was able to cast Unique last time. They barely scraped past fourth wall when they had both the top laner and the support away for a while. So with them at full power, hopefully we can see the best of them and we can have a super close game.
Yeah, and just like you, I did cast one of these teams previously as well. I saw Lazy in Life battle it off against God and went to full 5 games. Of course, we had the small mishap of not seeing the final game, but Lazy in Life came out ahead off. I'll be real with you. Even though I didn't see the game 5, I saw the draft. Stratos Kennen did work in both game 4 and 5. So, Lazy in Life, their solo laners are on top-notch form.
100%. When I was looking at Lazy in Life, they very much want to play for the top laner, Strato. He loves his Kennen, loves the Nart. Even the Camille can come out from this player. But he's actually played Kennen in the last 4 or 5 games. So pretty comfortable in that champion. So I'm excited to see if we get to see that coming out again.
And it's really weird how Kennen has suddenly risen to this kind of primary engage status, even though he's known for looking for those huge flanks and sometimes getting hard countered by a summoner spell called Exhaust. Strato's still making it work, and that's something we have to see. Can Archfiend's more traditional champion pool of bruisers and tanks deal with that electric mouse up in the top lane?
Yeah, Kennen's very good in towards those bruisery champions, had that engaged tool you're talking about. And the meta's kind of favoured Strato to go for this playstyle because his jungler likes the AP style champions. Of course, you want the brand, maybe in Talia or a Zyra coming out there, which means you don't have engage there. Then maybe mid lane has it, but then mid lane's very much AD carries, maybe a Yone if you're feeling a little bit fancy today, but still, you don't have any engaged tools. So it's all either the top laner or the support that finds the engage. It's better to have both together. So Strato playing that Kennen really shores up this team.
And you already mentioned one of the main things about this patch. People are going to get bored of this, but it has to be brought up. How AD carries have taken over the mid meta for the most part. And we see on the side of Unique, there is Zeri being played, there's Corki being played, bringing out these more traditional AD carry style champions. While Pibble on the side of Lazy in Life just kind of ignores them altogether. What do you think about this matchup going into the series?
Well, the thing I'm most happy about is Tristana's dead in the water, but then other AD carries are still meta. It's the weirdest thing to me, how the best AD carry has been nerfed so hard that you have to pick other AD carries. But it's very interesting indeed for Lazy in Life, having a mid laner that just doesn't care for the meta. Plenty of things that can play into it and feel pretty comfortable. Ari is one of them, and with that Talia, which they like to play in the mid lane, mostly because AD carries, they're mostly trying to scale into the late game and then try to get push control if they can. But with Talia and Ari, they can actually try and match that push, go around the map and make these plays happen, especially when they want to play for the side lanes where AD carries, everybody's beyond the side lane as an AD carry. It's not a fun time.
Yeah, and not only the Ari and Talia have been giving people a lot of trouble, Orianna has been eating target ban after target ban against Pibble because those shockwaves almost always find their target somehow. I still have no idea how he finds them, like constant 3 and 4 man shockwaves, but they were a menace against God in gaming. So we'll have to see how well does Unique adapt to it. But Unique has things of their own that they can pull out. While you mentioned already that the Lazy in Life jungler likes to play the meta champions along with Viego, be more of the carry style jungler. The Unique jungler, Bananasti, is a bit more supportive on his style.
100%. I think the closest thing you can have to him being this huge carry is Vi. But except for that, very much supportive. Enjoys playing that Poppy if he wants to counter the enemies. Sejuani, Maokai, all those mostly tank engage supports, which works perfectly well with the Unique style. So when I was able to cast them earlier, their games last about 30 minutes. They kind of run it a bit in the early game, but then show it up in the late game with an amazing team fight with Deadhound and Dusty being pretty, well, one of the best AD carry and mid laners for damage in the late game. Most likely we'll be going for those drafts. As the bans coming through, we're going to see no Seraphine in the bot lane, seeming like Tidebringer's not going to get his comfort pick.
Yeah, Tidebringer, one of the only players to actually bring out the Seraphine down on the bot side of the map. Deadhound, however, is no stranger to the mages himself, has played a game of Hwei, if I remember correctly. So there is that option if they want to pick up the Zeri flex pick between the two AD carries. However, with the bans going through, we mentioned the Orianna. It has been left open, 100% blind pickable, and now Dusty needs to figure out a response to this lean bully of a mage.
But Carvis. So this is very good into those AD carries, right? But I'm going to be more curious about what Unique want to pick in the jungle, because whenever they pick Orianna, usually there's a Vi afterwards. So harder engage tools on the side of Lazy in Life. So maybe Unique could pick up their jungler here and maybe some defensive and supportive items for them, or even pick up, a safe mid laner. But if I know Unique, you could probably get the Zeri here because of how much flexibility they have in the AD carry and in the mid lane pool here.
But looking in the Viego, but NLC actually heading into the carry role this time around, unless there's some weird solo lane Viegos. We've seen them before, but nobody has pulled it out just yet, and there's the Azir, makes sense. If you burn the Orianna's flash, there's going to be trouble in mid lane. Yeah,
stream a shuffle in towards her, get her straight in towards that Viego and get yourself that reset. Viego's one of the champions where you can't just build a comp, the comp needs to be built around him. Find ways to try and find one kill, try to capitalize on that, go further, and further. But instead, it looks like Lazy in Life's going for a little bit of a different Unique than picking that Vi early. Actually going for a Cassante and a Misfortune, trying to get that big wombo combo, as there's plenty of supports that can facilitate this. A Mumu in support is something that I've been a massive fan of champions trying to pick up, or maybe even a Nautilus or Leona, if you want to go the more simplistic route.
Yeah, we saw this Misfortune earlier on in the series against Garden, where it was paired up with a Swain down on the bot side of the map. Did really, really well in lane. Tidebringer and Sim kind of dominated that game, but eventually ended up losing, just kind of fell off the scaling train eventually. And as you see the top lane matchup, into Cassante, we've seen this a couple of times.
It's very much Nah has pushing that lane. Cassante can maybe go for the 1v1 if he has a perfect long lane to try and run him down. We do expect Nah to be hard outscaling the Cassante in the side lane, which puts Lazy in Life in a position where they don't win mid lane that hard. They don't win top lane, side lane. So now if this Nah ever becomes a massive beast from the side of Unique, they can just play for the 1v1 and just set up in that conditions. While Lazy in Life, they don't want that. I needed some engage coming out, and you can see that's why the Vi and Xing Zhao has been taken off the board, so that Orianna bull has a more difficult time to try and get into the backline.
A Milkshake running out of comfort champions quite fast.
Yeah, Sejuani. Definitely a possibility there.
Sejuani is okay, but usually you want to pair it up with these AD carries and these characters that auto-attack a lot. Sure, Orianna auto-attacks in the rotation, but now you would be just bringing the Sejuani in for the ultimate.
You've got the Maokai. No, Maokai is able to W in, has, of course, the ultimate for a very quick engagement towards the, well, slow engage, but a big engage on towards the enemy.
Seeing this Rel, I think it might be Wukong.
Yeah, Wukong definitely a possibility. Has actually been the most favored pick of recent for Milkshake. Has, of course, the clone to get in, try and have that invisibility, and most importantly, that Cyclone plus Orianna Bull on top of it could be a devastating fight. With that MF getting picked in, I'm going to be surprised they do pick up the support here. I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of either of these. I'd prefer a Maokai or something along those lines.
Poppy.
I mean, it stops the engage, but I feel like Lazy in Life wants to be the ones to engage, because now, who's ever going to shut them down to let MF to deal the damage? Yes, it'll work in lane phase, but afterwards?
This could be Poppy support.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So for the jungle, they really need to engage, and Wukong would make the most sense here. Instead, they bring out the guaranteed engage. Nautilus going down to the bot side of the map, and Poppy in the jungle to possibly try and punish this Nah pick up on the top side of the map.
Yeah, no, one of those champions, very slippery. If you're able to hit a Tidebringer on top of it, they will be getting taken out by that Cassante or even the Poppy, just knocking them into the wall. And now Unique, with how they've been drafted, very much does seem like they want to play for this top lane, having a little questions about, do we want Sivir, do we want Ezreal? Most importantly, they want a safe AD carry so Lazy in Life can't find an engage. And now when we take a little step back, let's look at this Poppy pick, because yes, Poppy stops the engage, you have Nautilus for it. Just their team fighting, it was looking so good. I feel like Wukong's just so much better here than Poppy.
I see why they go for the Poppy.
You see the angle.
They basically are telling Unique, we think that you are not coordinated enough to engage with the Poppy W being a factor. And it's a best of 5. This is the challenge. We can play very aggressive with a Poppy. You have 2 laners that heavily rely on a dash to get out of ganks, and we have follow-up CC if you press the buttons wrong into the Poppy W. We're gonna get ahead early and win the game in 28 minutes, maybe even 25. While Unique are kind of conceding the fact that they like to play the AD carry meta normally, but respecting Pibble, they go for the traditional mid lane matchup, get the counter pick, and are just looking to play their game, scaling up into the late game.
Yeah, and what we really need to talk about is both of these mid laners. Pliable being first in KDA, then of course second in mid lane for damage, first in mid lane for kill participation, and second for gold share, clearly showing him as one of the highlights of Lazy in Life and one of the highlights of the whole NLC Division 2, one of the best mid laners here. But of course, countered by Unique's mid laner Dusty themselves. Dusty second best in KDA himself, third for gold and second for CS per minute. So both of these mid laners have quite a lot to prove, because in my book, I think we have the 2 best mid laners on our screens today.
The stats never lie. As we
Stats
all know,
never lie.
The stats decide everything, and we can consider Pibble basically winning the NLC Division 2 playoffs already.
Okay, I didn't say that, all right? Because you have to talk about the players around them. If we had solo one-on-ones, sure, I would say probably Pibble, best mid laner here, or maybe Deadhound, or even, I don't know. But it's a full team game. Nobody can just take it with good stats. But we'll have to see.
But this will definitely be a factor. We are probably going to see heavy fighting in the mid lane. Both of the junglers have champions that can follow up with CC quite easily. Even on a Azir Q slow, you can start looking for a Viego Flash W, get those kills on early. If you get a counter gank from the Poppy, everything can go full on combat in the mid lane, looking for skirmishes. But we're ready for game 1. Let's see how hard the teams want to fight.
If I know Unique, not very much. They want to scale. They want to get to the late game, get this Nard to become an absolute powerhouse, allow Deadhound and Dusty to carry these fights. But Lazy in Life pretty much enjoy this early game. And when you have a Nautilus, why not have some fun? If one of those hook lands, get yourself a free kill, as they will be heading towards the top side. 2 options of what they can do here. Either is get a ward deep down to give Chateau a little bit more pressure in the early game, or they could go for the lane swap later on. So we will have to see, as Lazy in this top bush hasn't been spotted out just yet.
Archfiend will soon see Sim approaching, escapes the pixel brush, and keeps the vision perfectly, flanks the incoming team. And they are slightly confused. We were sure that the Gnar would be here. Where is he? And end up recalling with nothing. And Unique gets to establish full bot side vision and have information on where Milkshake exactly is going.
And do you know the worst part about this? The only place Lazy was able to ward was in the top side brush, while their full bot lane, red, completely warded up. Viego's able to see everything that they're wanting to do. So we're going to have to see if we're going to have a bit of jungle ganking from Baniasti, trying to see if he can find a 1v1 against that Poppy, as the only time he's ever going to win that is if he doesn't get dashed against the wall. But if you, of course, you know where the enemy is, it makes it a lot easier to do that, as Baniasti most likely just going to be scaling up towards that level 6, want to try and scale with the best U team. And Unique's one of those teams, when you get to the late game, you usually trust you will be winning those fights. Compared to Lazy in Life, when you play a champion like Poppy that's low economy, you try to get those ganks early. So if I was him, his bot lane's looking quite juicy, especially with that Nautilus on your team.
Yeah, and we already glanced at it in draft. It's not only the Poppy that is very low economy. You have Misfortune and Nautilus down the bot side of the map, who tend to be these early spiking AD carries. Are they actually fighting down the bot side, taking a small chunk of damage? Sim, I think, got a hook there. Just trading early on, but Touch and Deadhound establish early level 2 priority.
He does need to be very careful on this Nautilus, as whenever you hook into that rail and she presses Q on you, it actually stops the W shield. So you can be a lot squishier than you actually think on this Nautilus pick. So it needs to be quite careful in that laning matchup. So not a huge lead on the side of Unique, but very happy with how this early game goes. But remember those wards spotted earlier, they will know where this Poppy is going to be, and it's looking like Baniasti is clearing just the same, making sure that he can defend their bot lane when he needs to.
Yeah, and should be a fairly similar clear from both of these champions. Poppy, of course, dealing quite a surprising amount of damage to jungle camps with her Q, so This priority established by Deadhound and Touch on the bot side of the map will come into play as they go for the Scuttle contest.
I think most likely it's going to go in favor of the side you need. They got Prio in towards the bot lane. Problem is, Azir in the mid lane doesn't have it themselves. There most likely will be that contest you're talking about. And I'm quite favoring the side of Lazy in Life if they can be at the same amount of time, mostly because of that CC you can have of the Nautilus hook into the Poppy stun and then the W to make it where they can't escape. Problem is, Poppy is a little bit slow on that clearing, so most likely going to give the opportunity for Baniasti to pick up this Skull Crab for free. First one, huge confidence boost there. Can maybe go pick up the other Skull Crab if he wants to, but most likely he's just going to go for that reset.
Being a little bit too slow, but instead they can look for a gap. No, they even can't. There's full vision on the bot side. Yeah, everything's warded up, and the wave is crashing now. It's like they're going for the bot side Scuttle invade play, but about 45 seconds late, Bananesti is already on the top side, able to get himself another Scuttle. And the Lazy in Life jungler has to get into base empty-handed.
And this is the thing that Lazy in Life, because they made the play earlier on towards the top side, they just gave full vision of where Milkshake was. So then it gives Baniasti the time to say, hey, I know I clear quicker than the Poppy. Let me get this bot lane Skull Crab. Let me get the top lane as well. Well, Milkshake is left just high and dry, knowing that he can't get bot lane Skull Crab. Bot is fully warded up because they know he's going to gank there. And now you can even start knowing the time where Poppy's going to be down here. He can just walk in, place down a ward, and there hasn't been a single time where Milkshake hasn't been on a ward because he's cleared one. There's one just seeing him.
Yeah, this is not good for Lazy Life's game
I don't think he's good at hide and seek in real life.
Definitely not. Milkshake. I mean, are milkshakes very good at hide and seek? I think milkshakes are very visible.
Yeah, like, you know where you left your milkshake. If you went to McDonald's or something and you left it around, you remember where you put it. It's just too good to forget.
It's one of those things that goes bad very quickly, so you have to keep an eye on it. And Unique definitely is. They have been playing around the Poppy quite well, but Dusty, before the level 6, could be in trouble as the gank is coming in. Nice flash to prevent the dash, but Pibble doesn't have the damage just yet. Another flash committed. Dusty will be falling for the first blood as Lazy Life finally get their jungler on the map.
And Dusty, just before this, teleported towards the mid lane. So with that kill going over, he's going to miss maybe one, even two waves in towards the mid lane. And I think I'm with Dusty there. I was not expecting that gank to work. Flash E forward doesn't even hit the stun, but the damage coming out from Pieball and Milkshake in this early game allows them to pick up first blood. And remember, first in KDA, first in damage in the mid lane. That's a person you want to have the kills on your team for Lazy in Life.
Yeah, and something that we didn't even mention, Dusty had just burned his teleport to get back in the mid lane, so that was dead off of the summoner spell. Just perfect timing to punish Dusty's summoner spell usage. And this, again, sets the mid lane back a little bit, but main thing is that Pipple gets ahead. This Orianna has been a huge factor in Lazy in Life's wins. Now, if they can establish mid lane priority, they can play towards the side lanes, and Strato, in this counter matchup, not yet punished too hard, only 4 CS behind, and Poppy's free to start taking some of these grubs.
Yeah, going to be able to pick up a few of the CS up top lanes. There's only actually 1 CS down, and I think you can forgive him in a counter matchup for that, as those Void Grubs will be going over towards the Poppy. Should be able to pick up that Rift Herald, or sorry, that Skull Crab as well. Of course, on the opposite side, it will be countered by the side of Unique, but they haven't even started Dragon. Mid lane's completely fine in their situation, so from a very bad early game with Milkshake getting spotted everywhere, now he's in the position where he feels in control.
Is 6, but Anest is still looking for his. W already burned, so no way to prevent the Gnaw engage for a good 15 seconds or so, but doesn't want to commit to the objective. Knows that 2 of the grubs are gone, but there's still 1 left in the pit waiting for anyone to come and take it. And since both of the junglers were spotted topside, Unique can't really commit to the dragon either, instead starting to look towards the mid lane where Pibble doesn't have his flash up. 4 members converging onto this Orianna, and here's the shuffle, brings him back into the center of the mid lane and falls apart fast. Dusty is the one to get the kill.
And you say that Orianna's a mid laner who can stay safe, yes, when they have the flash available, but not having that a great Shurima shuffle is able to scoop her up and give over the kill to themselves as well. Lazy in Life able to push out this bot lane, but they gain nothing from this. So I was thinking to Unique, why didn't they go for the dragon earlier? Why did they try to farm up a bit more? But maybe that's the reason. As now, Azir's got a kill towards the mid lane, isn't going to impact massively in this early game, but the CS lead that was building onto Fireball has been negated, and now everything's dead even yet again.
Looking on the map, as I say, dead even, but the spikes are starting to come in with that kill getting Dusty closer to the initial first item. My eyes go to Tidebringer. Tidebringer is starting to get way ahead down on this bot side of the map due to the pressure this Misfortune Nautilus duo can put out onto the Ezreal. However, meanwhile in the mid lane, yeah, we've seen this before. Less members this time around, but a nice chunk coming in. Even the Trusha Barrage taking a huge chunk out of Pibble's HP pool, forcing the recall, letting Viego invade to the red side jungle, the blue side jungle, make it collapsed on though, needs to be a bit careful, has his ultimate available if he needs to go over the wall. Milkshake may have been caught out, trying to go onto the Viego, Shockwave, not there yet, finally lands it, but the damage already is there, the rest of his team is falling apart very fast, flash from touch forward, Sim will be losing his life as well, as Unique pick up 2 kills for 1.
Yeah, going to be in favor on the side of Unique, and that mid lane gank really paying off for them, as going in a little bit further for that Viego may have been a bit too much, but Orianna not being able to pump out damage. So if she ever walked up too far, she was going to get killed. So now Unique with a double kill in towards their pocket, one going over to the rail, which you don't want, but importantly, giving one over towards this Ezreal. So these small little plays make it where Lazy in Life aren't able to push the lead, because if they didn't find that kill in the mid lane, we've been able to push that out, bot lane was already pushed, and they would have been able to get this dragon. So Unique stopping the dragon and getting themselves a gold lead.
Interestingly, Pibble was the one to get the 1 kill on the side of Lazy, so while the Orianna has gotten punished a couple of times now, while he's lacking his flash. Now that it's back up, you can start playing a bit more offensively, and the rest of Lazy agree, establishing priority on both of the bot side lanes. They want to keep this objective train going. With the initial dragon, they can start playing towards the soul win condition if it happens to be a great dragon. And there's no way for Unique to contest this while their Ezreal is this weak.
Yeah, exactly. Azir in the mid lane, weaker than the Orianna. They don't have the wombo combo compared to Lazy in Life, as now one Void Grub available means that even though they got the dragon, Baniasti's just sitting there saying, hey man, I can take it, but it doesn't really matter. Like, you could do an extra 6 damage towards these towers if you really want. So he is going to pick that up, and that's just sad, isn't it? You know, being left all alone, nobody else there. Poor little Void Grub.
Mid lane, Dusty's being left alone. Flash forward brings him back over the wall with the steadfast presence. And Milkshake wants to keep it going, but Anasti has the ultimate available. Archfiend approaching as well. Megana almost ready to pop. Just heads over the wall with the blast cone. No need to expend anything else, but Sim might not be done just yet. They were looking like they want to keep on going and denying resources from Unique, but that's a little bit too dangerous, Scuffle.
Yeah, especially with Rail coming down and having the Gnar being able to move. Bit of an awkward situation, but they deal a bit of damage to touch, are going to be able to get out from the steadfast presence. And Lazy in Life perfectly using their strongest part in the game. I don't think Lazy is going to be in a stronger position than they are now, as with the Dark Harvest onto Milkshake and the items that he's built, he can practically half-shot people, and with the Nautilus and Orianna on top of that, they can burst anyone down this part of the game. So if Lazy in Life want to grab their lead, it has to be now, as yet again Unique having wards onto Milkshake. This man, he just can't hide.
They are trying to track the Poppy to the best of their ability, but punishing Milkshake is a different thing
100%.
altogether. Whenever the flash is up from the Poppy, they can expend the resources and get Dusty down. Committing to the enemy jungle while they have the Misfortune Nautilus on the bot side, they don't need to mid-lane the target. Pibble with the flash is able to escape, and Touch taking huge damage from the tower. Needs one more hit to get the kill. The Shurima Shuffle goes bad! But Nasty eventually makes it under the tower, but here's Strato coming in with a teleport ghost. Both of the summoners and Casante showing why he's the beast. Taking all out, double kill for Strato. Milkshake makes it over to Archfiend against the Megadon 2-on-1. Bounce House trying to escape, even though the bot side Lazy Life are getting onto the action. Deadhound dying, Archfiend popping his flash to get away from the really angry top laner of Lazy Life.
And you just can't make that play unless you hit every piece of CC consecutive after each other. You saw what happens when he doesn't. One flash away, Pi was able to hit the ultimate, get himself the kill, and get them low enough. With Strato using that TP to get a double kill afterwards. This Orianna in the mid lane and Strato in the top lane have got huge leads, especially when they wanted Gnar to get this big lead. And take a look. It's now 400 down mid lane, 800 down, two of the best mid laners. And it's really showing the Pieball is maybe one up on him this game.
You mentioned all those, but the misfortune is almost 1k ahead.
I mean, it's 2v1. You're an Ezreal on the tower. Yes, you're safe, but with a Nautilus ultimate, you just kind of accept death at that point.
Yeah, but Bloodthirster and a BS Sword in Tidebringer's inventory before Deadhound has even finished the Trinity Force. This is going to be a nightmare for Unique to fight against, as they are converging onto the Herald. They would love to get this objective down, but Lazy already there. They are separated 2 and 2, just trying to drag the Herald away, but there's just no way they can contest this. And since they were the ones to commit to the objective initially, now they lose out on the mid lane prio as well.
And the big thing is, they want to try and burst someone out by either having their Azir push them into the team, or maybe have Darrell engage, but then Poppy's able to stop that. Maybe you want to poke earlier. But you said about how far behind Ezreal is, that is the possibility. Now you're starting to feel that every tool that Unique has in their arsenal to try and get something started just isn't there yet. They need more damage on the Azir and on the Ezreal to poke them out. Don't have enough damage to burst out, as only first eye's been completed for Baniasti. So at this point in the game, if Lazy in Life ever want to try and take these fights, they're just going to win out. And even top lane here, Archfiend can't do anything because of that double kill.
This is starting to look rough going into the mid game for Unique.
It's 15 minutes in, and Lazy in Life are just feeling like they're just in full control of this game. And that's the big issue you have with the Unique comp and the Unique roster as a whole, is you get them to late game. Amazing. I'm going to say they're probably the best team in the NLC Division 2 for taking these late game team fights. It's just about every game takes them 30 minutes. Even if they find a lead with the comps they build, they're never ready. So we're going to have to see if they can slowly lose this game and get in a position to start contesting Lazy at these 3 items.
They are definitely going to get some gold on the board here as they commit the Rift Herald up on the top side of the map. And Lazy Life properly seeing what their win condition is, trying to get to the soul as fast as they can, knowing that it won't be... Oh no, it's the other bad one. Well, there goes the win condition. Now they need to be a little bit more aggressive. They were hoping to get something like an Infernal Soul here that they could play, or even Hextech would have been great.
Okay, I mean, they're a little bit tankier. The lower HP they are means that Viego isn't going to be as comfortable. It's Milkshake.
Oh, where are you? Milkshake getting caught out a little bit. There's the reason. Oh, huge ultimate coming out from Tidebringer. So much damage. They get the jungler. Dusty's been free hitting this entire time, healing Sim back. Then flashing into the back line. Double kill to the Ezreal. They found the 5 Stratos ghosting in now. They want to keep this going as they find 4 kills across the board. The top laner only wants to survive. Getting that initial catch, huge for Unique.
And that's everything that I wanted Unique to do. They're able to find the picks, and most importantly, able to get gold into their pocket. So they can maybe get the mid lane tower here if they want. They could push out the top lane as well. And the reason that didn't work out is because of Milkshake getting bursted out just enough to have him go down. Baniasti is able to find that reset. And there was a small opportunity where Pieball, if he hits the ultimate onto 3 members, Lazy would have just completely wiped him. But it whiffs, finds no one, giving Unique the opportunity to win out the fight afterwards. And now the gold lead that Lazy was building, it's kind of fell off a little bit, especially when they're 1,000 gold down now after that team fight.
You could say it fell off a little bit when they don't have the gold lead anymore.
Just a bit, yeah. You can't really look at anyone in the eye and be like, guys, I'm winning. What about the gold lead? Stats don't lie.
It's all of a sudden a little bit more precarious of a position for Lazy. Initially looked good, but losing the Herald, not getting the proper soul. Sure, it's good on Cassante and the Milkshake, but they really need to start playing aggressive and taking some of these towers down, because otherwise they're gonna fall behind further and further. As Milkshake is the target, once again, Archfiend gonna pop the Mega Null soon here. Does have this flash soon available. They want to engage. Tidebreaker's been caught out, deleted instantly out of the fight, but then as they peeled away from the reset though, and now Dusty has to get back to his team. Only 1-for-1 trade after all of this cooldowns being burnt, but low on life is Lazy, as they just have to retreat and give up the mid lane positioning.
I thought you were going to do a pun there of like,
I was thinking of it.
So now I'm lazy.
Thinking of it.
Oh, man, don't worry. I got you back. I saw it. I saw the dad pun. But Unique, really well played there. Absolutely amazing. Knowing they didn't have flash onto Tidebringer and that bullet time wasn't available for another 5 seconds as the fight started. Unique jumps in, a little bit scuffed on the way they did it, but finds an engage onto Tidebringer. Him being down and not having the major damage source, when you start taking him out the equation for Lazy in life, where's their damage? Yes, you have Orianna mid lane, but except for that, you're not going to be winning out. So this will allow Unique to be able to win that fight, get themselves this bot lane tower as well, and get themselves, again, a slightly bigger gold lead. Now it's got to around that 2,000k mark, and they're really hitting their points. But they can start playing the game. 2 items on Azir, 1.5 on Ezreal. So now the poke damage is going to be there we wanted beforehand. Even now in the top lane is starting to get pretty close to either a Black Cleaver or something with that armor pen, making Cassante not as difficult to deal with in the top lane.
And as you said, it all comes down to the spikes at the moment. Just having these 2 item marks for the Azir, for the Viego, for the Ezreal even soon should be able to finish up the Manamune. There it goes. This is where the Ezreal becomes so much more dangerous. Deadhound has already been putting in work with his positioning and his overall play in this game. But now he becomes a danger that Lazy have to deal with in an upcoming team fight around this dragon area, or they will fall apart.
Yep, and one thing I want to talk about is this Poppy is going to start falling off from here on out. First item completed, the most amount of damage you're going to do on this champion. After that, you build full tanks. So if the side of Lazy in Life want to play around the Poppy, get some kills on these side lanes. You've got to either do it soon, otherwise they're not going to have the damage if Milkshake's trying to go for those 1v1s. So Unique, starting to outscale, starting to get to a pretty comfortable point. This fight,
hold
able
on,
to
where's
win
Touch?
it.
Touch? Where are you, my man? Able to escape with a blast code. Teleport coming in. They want to fight. This Meganor is there for Archfiend. They find the Milkshake. CC onto 3. Strato is there to peel away, forcing Deadhound out. Misfortunes are dealing a bunch of damage at the choke point, but it's not enough. Deadhound still alive. Milkshake and Pibble just falling so low on HP, but they can't chase into the enemy jungle instead, opting to go for the dragon area. Nice call by Archfiend to go for that initial teleport.
And Touch, unironically, actually baited the enemy team into a great position. When he hit that blast cone, it put Strato over the wall in towards the river, allowing that TP to be behind, giving Unique a great start to this fight. And they weren't going into the choke point for Tidebringer to use that ultimate, so that was too little too late, giving Unique that kill, and now putting themselves in a great position to gain control over that dragon, take it, and get pressure towards this mid lane. So yet again, Unique, from a pretty weak position, are able to find something positive, keep building this lead, and now Lazy is starting to feel the ones that are desperate to make these plays.
And something that I realized after seeing that second team fight is that they don't really have any other setup for the Misfortune Ultimate other than the Shockwave. But they haven't managed to land both of them at the same time, even once
It's
yet.
so difficult.
It is. And this team fight may also be difficult, as Sim has to be sacrificed for the greater good. Milkshake and Tidebringer will just walk away. But the Baron has spawned. It is 22 minutes into the game.
I think they should start it.
They honestly probably should just start it. And there's just no way for Lazy to engage on them. With Strato on the bot side, though, it's a bit of an issue. The Cassante is still very strong, even getting
Even the top wave as well. They need to match these waves. If they leave it, they lose an extra 200-300 gold on the side lane for no reason. So I'm just going to be happy with the 300 gold they picked up from that kill, and they will be scaling on this side lane. And you talked about it perfectly. Misfortune, amazing when that ultimate hits. But you need to hit the ultimate, and Tidebringer, you see, positions himself in a way where he can hit them, yes, but it just takes so long in these fights because they don't have that major setup. And this is the big issue I have with Misfortune as a whole, as one of these top tier AD carries, is all these players are like Challenger, right? I don't think they're going to clump up into an MF unless you force them to. Pick champions that get people to clump up, otherwise, it's not happening. I'm sorry, I've casted this champ 4 or 5 times. I don't, man, MF isn't it for me. I don't believe.
You made the mistake of saying it out loud. Guess what's going to happen in the next team
I
fight?
hope it does. I want to see it. I've cast it 4 or 5 games, and I got this dream in my head of, oh my god, MF Ultimate plus Orianna. I can see it. Where is it, Carvis? Where is it?
We're going to be waiting. We're going to be waiting for it. But the Baron is the goal for both teams. Lazy trying to establish a defensive position around the pit. It's just kind of difficult considering the the Chemtech Rift allows you to clear wards at such a high pace with the vision cones being so large and staying there for ages. Unique just force Lazy out of the area, and with no wards, they may just straight up start it.
Yeah, why not? You know you're going to be able to win the fights if you're the ones to engage in towards the enemy team. MF hasn't really been set up.
Look at that!
Piper's in no situation as well. They're just going to burst this. No one's going to be able to stop this.
Yeah, now they're realizing that something's going wrong. And Milkshake even channeling the ultimate will be hitting
trying
anyone.
To get them to reset quicker, it feels, with that ultimate. As we will see Strato in this side lane able to push it out, giving themselves an extra minute of time on this side lane before they're going to have to start dealing with these minions. But amazing play by Unique, knowing that they have the damage early to start this up. Yes, they lose this mid lane tower, but Unique, really well played around that dragon. Nothing wrong.
Top side. Lazy may see a target. Archfiend needs to be careful because the entire team is on his tracks.
I really like this play from Lazy because what this does is it lets your top laner Pieball get the tower first of all, but most importantly, push out the wave yet again. So now top lane, you're not going to have to worry about for a very long time. So when the resets come through, all they have to worry about is this mid lane and this bot lane. After that, you can just be happy, pretty chill, especially with MF and Pieball having pretty good wave for it.
Okay, Milkshake committing quite hard. They have Sim on the flank, teleport now being channeled from both of the carries, I think. It will take some time though. Archfiend will start his own. Tidebringer just in no position to deal any damage. It's just tanks against the world. Piper finally makes it in and takes down the Viego, but it's a fight on 2 fronts. Their 80k being targeted by the Unique solo lane. A Shockwave onto 2, a huge chunk out of Deathhound Dusty, and Archfiend left all alone gets obliterated by Tidebringer, having to use his flash. This Misfortune needs to be careful in the future. But 2 great kills going over to Lazy, and 20 seconds until this dragon is up. They may be able to contest the objective now.
Yeah, TP in the mid lane trying to defend it, had that Baron available, but you must expect this to be going down. And Lazy having a fight that was even as another one.
I don't know what Milkshake was thinking about there. They're losing so many members. Tidebringer, 1 Mystic Shot away, finally lands a double kill. He's forward, Deadhouse feeling it. Touch is on Pieball's tracks. So the 1 last ton won't get dissonance, providing enough movement speed. Orianna gets away, but a quick turnaround from Unique.
Carvis, what just happened?
They overcommitted. They overcommitted
what
hard.
What just happened, man? Lazy in life, just reset. After you finish the kills, find the reset, get back out, get yourself the dragon, great position. But because they overstep, Unique's able to get themselves the dragon, clear out the blue side of Lazy, and they get themselves 3 kills. Unique are really happy, and with Baron still available, they can get this top lane tower for free. And I was going to talk about that last fight, how amazing Lazy in Life did, or being able to split the map up. Yes, Tidebringer wasn't there, but having both the top and the mid laner focus him down gives the chance for Pieball to carry you through. But with that mistake, it's not really a point, as now having themselves a 4k gold lead on the side of Unique, they get themselves mid tower, get themselves top tower, and they solidly got about 3,000 off that Baron in the end of it.
Also, the dragon went the way of Unique, so again, adding more on that clock.
They could have been on Soul Point.
They could have been on Soul Point and played and forced Unique to contest the final dragon. But now they're just perfectly happy to start scaling back up. Deadhound even going for the Hex Drink and make sure that he doesn't die to the possible Shockwave combination from Sim and Pebble. And I don't know what Lazy can do at this point, as they're just getting shut out of their entire jungle. One last inner tower available. Unique are already positioning around it. Sure, they have a Rabadon's 3-item Orianna. Is it enough? I'm not sure when their support is getting called out.
Carvis, hear me out. Wombo combo. 5-man Orianna ult into 5-man Tidebringer ult. Hear me out.
Yeah, they need to make Pharrell and Lord proud here. X-Flash being channeled though, they want to fight this. Coming in, Rival getting caught out, but there's just no damage coming in. There's just Unique wanted the tower instead. With the teleport from Strato, they might be able to catch Touch if they... Oh, okay, they just burned the flash from Milkshake. That's a big cooldown though. That should be used on Deadhound or Bananasty, and as you say, Archfiend coming down the mid lane wave. Won't be able to commit to it too hard due to Tidebringer still being fairly dangerous, but I'm not sure what I think about that Poppy flash to catch out Touch.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there, because Unique are fully out of tempo. They used everything top lane. They wanted to go for the reset anyway. And with 16 seconds available for Touch back up afterwards, they don't have Dragon to get ready for. They don't have Baroness. That's going to be another minute. So probably not worth it. But we'll have to see as Milkshake looking for Baniasti does know this is happening. So he can just give up and get himself out of it. And Lazy in life, every single fight they have been engaged on. Unique have always been the one to find the flank, like a Gnar, like the Hextech Flash coming out of Touch. But if Lazy in Life want to win these fights and get this massive wombo combo that we have in our dreams, they need to be the ones to engage. And right now, they have vision control over this Baron. Up in 40 seconds, they should look for it now.
Close. Doesn't get
I respect it.
They are making the attempt to find the picks. They are trying to catch Unique on the rotation to any objective, any lane that they want to shove. And due to Gnar working how Gnar works, they have a chance to play around it. If they catch out the mini Gnar, say with Milkshake and +1, really, doesn't need to be...
They got TP flanks as well. They can easily TP into the bot side of Lazy, find yourself a flank with Mega Gnar, and look for those engages. As Lazy in Life, they feel pretty safe here, but I do expect a TP pretty soon.
No, Sim misses the initial engage, but finally getting a nice combination with the Misfortune ultimate. They just don't have the damage yet. Strato over the wall finally picks up the kill. Touch was the one they engaged onto, and that's a lot of resources dumped onto the support. 3 ultimates gone. So now it is Unique's turn to play. Lazy needs to reset to get the bot side wave, but the Baron is up. And that has a huge target on his back.
And now you need to think about it again. They used 3 ultimates on the side of Lazy just for a support. So of course they're not going to be winning the team fight afterwards. So Unique have a full pushing out bot wave, which Gnar set up earlier. Top wave was pushing out as well. So yes, Lazy could have gone for that Baron and maybe won the fight, but then their bot lane would have absolutely crumbled to pieces. So Unique playing this super well, where even a member dies, they're still actually winning out on these trades.
Oh, look at the Ezreal, by the way. The Ezreal and the Azir have 4 items each. 4 items finished, 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. These carries are at their prime. Level 18 100%. On Dusty as well. Like, holy, what has he been doing this entire game?
I mean, the stats don't lie. I did say second best of that CS score. Look at that, 319. If you want to get somebody to scale into the late game, that's your man, as we will be seeing this Baron started.
They have to cancel this, right? They just cannot take it. They don't have the damage. Instead, looking for the engage angle. Hextech Flash. Looking for Deadhound. Won't get the hook. There's a Mega Gnar that they have to work against as well. Popping the Zonia from Dusty. Shockwave doesn't hit anyone. They catch Albana Nasty, but their backline is already dead. 2 members gone, and Lazy in Life just doesn't have the scaling power to fight against Unique anymore. Only Tidebringer left alive. Teleport being channeled into the mid wave. They have the minions to work with. Shockwave, no need for Baron. Tidebringer can't even recall since there are minions preventing it. Needs to clear all of these island touches there, lying in wait to prevent the defense. Looks like Unique, even after the Poppy bullying them a bit in the early game, have secured themselves game 1.
Heartbreak. I wanted the wombo combo.
They were working for it. They were working for it, but the team fights were just too difficult to play, man. They did not have the buttons to force the issue.
Carviz, yes, they did have the buttons. You're completely correct. In that last team fight, Misfortune did have ultimate. It was down. And thank you. I know, best analyst you've ever seen. And it's so difficult because the reason I like Nautilus but don't like Nautilus and Misfortune combo is, yes, that ultimate Tidebringer instantly or is going to be CCing someone at some point. But if Ezreal has flash, Ezreal has E, that's going to take a little bit of time, right? Giving him a chance to reposition in a way where Misfortune can't know. And that's the biggest issue with having these two combo together. Yes, you can fight and engage, but if it's not instant and in that spot, the MF ultimate is never going to land. So really well played to decide a Unique are able to capitalize on the mistakes on Lazy in Life and really push forward. From the vision to the way they played these side lanes, Unique just felt like a stronger and more rounded team, it feels.
Well, this is also how it looked like in Lazy in Life's previous series, while Unique looked a bit more confident in theirs, from what I could see. We'll see how they adjust as we head to a small break, while Game 2 will be waiting for us shortly. Hello, welcome back. We were not in a hurry at all heading into game 2, and
Okay, Carvis, I was good. For everybody who doesn't know, there's a thing called an outside world. So
What?
through that door, League of Legends doesn't exist to me. So
and
I was on my phone.
you're correct.
What
There is an
toilet?
outside world, the NLC outside world, EMEA Masters. Go watch the European EMEA Masters.
Guys, help me. Look, I love League. I love everything to do with this game, but like, if I'm casting it for like 4 or 5 games, I need that little downtime. Everybody's been on, the toilet with their phone out, just mindlessly scrolling. That's what I do in between games.
What's a toilet?
Oh, you're one of the guys who's like so dedicated to League of Legends. You just can't leave your seat. You just Uber eat stuff in, get them up the stairs. Don't need to go toilet.
Unbeknownst to you, I am who Cartman is based on.
Damn, the real dream life.
Regardless, Lazy in Life have chosen red side. Surprising, probably no one, considering how the initial game went. The Orianna first pick did not really work out too well. Sure, they managed to play around pretty well, but I think there are better priority picks to go.
Okay. Even more importantly, they have R5. Woo! And do you know why this is important, Carvis? I'm going to tell you. Strato, top laner, plays Camille, plays the Kennen, and then plays any sort of side laning champion. Because last time he was stuck on the Cassandra. He couldn't really do much side laning, could he? Was fine into Dinar, had a good game, but wasn't really as impactful as he could be. But now with R5, he gets counter picks, and maybe they can be the ones to go for the 1-3-1. Go for the team fighting, and completely leave MF in the dust, because that champion, I still don't believe in it. Unless you pair it with a Veil.
Thing is, when you remember how Lazy Life drafted on the red side in the previous series against Garden Gaming, they actually left the R5 to Pibble.
But just put him on Ori, no? Like, he has so many safe good picks that he has. Like, what is he really going to be picking? Is he going to pick his Kassadin again?
That's what he did. That's what he did, but it did not work out too well. So I'm hoping that Lazy Life have refined their game plan on the red side a little bit when it comes to drafting, because the Kassadin was not it.
Please say that was like a first time. They were just like, you know what, guys? Kassadin's great here, I swear. They're great into the enemy champions. But,
there was Victor Rumble on the enemy mid jungle duo, so it.
Okay, fair.
I could see the idea behind it. It's just that when there's also an Ashe Nautilus on the bot side of the map, the Kassadin didn't really get to do much.
Do you want to see something? Hear something worse? When I was casting, not Lazy in Life, but Unique, the team they were going up against, they picked NASA support. So spicy stuff in NLC Division 2. So make sure you don't miss any of these games. Seraphine, yet again, going to get banned away. We will have to see if Lazy and Light thought that any of the champions on the side of Unique were massive deal breakers. I think there wasn't really anything. Maybe Viego be a bit annoying, but I wasn't getting much done. Even the mid laner Azir, sure, you weren't able to kill it a lot, but I don't know. It just felt like Lazy Life game plan overall was the issue more than the actual champions.
Thing is that Unique had to ban Aurora the previous time on red side, and now with the side switched, unless Lazy want to see if Unique play it, they can leave it open. Otherwise, they'll be losing out on the
They've
ban.
never played it so far. So if it is going, if it has been played, I do not know about it, and it is going to get banned away. That champion is just nutty because of the flexibility towards the mid or top lane. Very good into AD carries. Very good in towards of these tanky bruisery champions. Are these teams okay? We're first picking Orianna again.
Are we back in Worlds? Is the Worlds patch?
Man, are we gonna have like Galio against this? Maybe even a Corki or Azir? Is it just Orianna, Corki, Azir meta? Let's find out.
I mean, Corki wasn't touched the previous draft now. Somehow. Some way. I have no idea how.
I'm just happy there's no AD carries.
Is this Ari Viego maybe? Something like that would make sense for the side of Lazy Life. They played it a ton. Instead, they think that Misfortune wasn't the problem. They want to secure it for Tidebringer. Hopefully providing a little bit more setup this time around. But the Viego seems to be a priority pick in this series.
And more importantly, do you know why they picked the Misfortune before picking up their mid lane, either the Yari or the Azir? It's because Orianna's already been picked. You know there's not going to get picked up by the enemy team unless they put it somewhere. There's a mid lane which should be happening. So now on towards the R3, they should be able to pick it up. Well, Unique, pretty comfortable comp. I don't know why Unique didn't do this last time, of picking up the Ori straight in towards that Vias. Now, we had that issue of MF not having any instant lockdown engage. Now that Vi plus Orianna, I'd feel a lot more comfortable with MF on the team, but instead we'll pick up that Ezreal. And I'm happy that we still don't have ADCs mid. That's the only thing for me.
I mean, there's still the angle. There's still the angle
There's
of like...
not. There isn't.
I trust Unique to cook sometimes. They could rotate Dusty over to the Ezreal, and Deadhound has played mages down on the bot side of the map. Wouldn't be the first Orianna bot lane that I see. But,
did it work out last time?
No, but that's irrelevant.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, I've played Ari support. Did it work out? No. Is it a possibility? Hopefully not. But we don't know these players, as Leona's going to get banned away from the side of Lazy. I think Rel should be a major ban from the side of Unique, mostly because it gets paired up amazingly well with that Misfortune. I'm loving the Camille ban a lot, because when you're looking at how Lazy have drafted, they very much got more of a pick comp, can go for engage, but they have no real major frontline like a tank. So most likely Unique are wanting to tank themselves as well. And if Unique pick up that tank, Camille's great into that. So a little bit of forward thinking, making sure that they can pick up an Ornn, maybe even a San if they want to, or even a Dr. Mundo in this meta, and not worry about these side laners.
Do you consider Rakan to be a possibility here on Lazy's side? Like, pick it away
100%.
from top?
Yeah. So the main reason I like Rakan is Rakan's very squishy, yes, but he has engaged opportunities. Pretty good in the 2 versus 2 of the Misfortune. Pairs up as well with the Viego, as you find CC pretty easily. Viego pairs up with that, Ari on top of that. Plenty of quick engage. You won't be great in team fights unless you find a pick, but with how Lazy have been playing, I think their pick potential and the way they played around it can be super strong. So Xante taken off the bat, and the same as Kennen. So yeah, most likely we can't get him picked in. I'm expecting Unique to pick up a support like Nautilus still being available, and then probably if I'm their top laner, it has to be a tank like an Ornn here sounds fine.
I just realized Rel was open.
Well,
what?
That's the thing. Lazy just left it open, instead banning away the Leona, because of course that ultimate being able to stop the MF ultimate pretty quickly. Plenty of CC against that Rakan, Rel not having as much fun into that. Going to be able to pick that up. And now, Unique. I still think you pick tank here. Like, Gnar can be okay for your team, but you've picked so much for team fighting. You just keep going.
Don't you just take Ornn here?
I mean, Renekton can work. If like Renekton's fine as well. I'm not really too upset about that pick. I think Ornn's the best for sure. But it's going to be that Renekton. Now, Lazy in life, I know that Jax is pretty good in towards that Renekton. They can, of course, pick a little bit more side laning. Something that I know Strato likes to play a lot is that Fiora as well. That could definitely be coming out here. Go for a nice little 1-3-1 comp. Have Strato ult the mid waves to be completely fine. Or they could just pick up the Ornn themselves. Ornn just fine into the Renekton.
I'm gonna hard call Volley Bear.
Volley Bear?
Oh no! Okay, you're correct. Okay, they go for the
Okay.
Jacksons. Like, think about it. Volley Bear into this would have been interesting, just because like
Volley
the
Bear into
enemies.
Renekton?
It's surprisingly good.
Well, okay, because the way I'm thinking about it is, of course, he's got his W, the one that if he hits 2 of them, gives him a little bit of HP back. If Renekton's not able to one-shot him, Volley Bear's going to take over that fight. So, it's all dependent on that. But yeah, now that we take a little look back, both teams interesting, unique, and exciting. Unique very much have easy engaged tools. Now they don't have to worry about misfortune on their team. They can mostly go for this little bit of poke early, find engage with Vi, same with Rel. Compared to the side of Lazy in Life, their side lane is pretty menacing. Have the Ahri into the Orianna late game. Of course, have the Jax in towards the Renekton. If they want to try and find a pick potential, they can go with the Rakan and with the Misfortune to burst someone out. They got a ton of different tools, but if we're talking about constant team fighting, Unique has to take the cake here.
Yeah. The thing about this Jax pick is that it also provides a similar thing that Volley Bear that I suggested, in that you have set up for the Viego. You have a CC chain easily available for you with Counter-Strike. As long as the Viego is there with proper timing, you start up the Counter-Strike, whether that be a Leap Strike or Flash onto the enemy, you will get the full CC chain into the kill pretty easily, and Renekton isn't really able to even respond in any way, shape, or form. And this gives an angle for Lazy in Life to do something that they haven't been able to do so far, which is play towards their top laner who has been a shining star on the team in their previous series.
Yeah, 100%. They need to play for their top laner. Of course, mid lane's pretty good, AD carry's pretty good, but once you've got somebody playing Fiora, playing Camille, playing Jack's top lane, things that can really carry the game in the side lanes if you let them, put them on champions you want. As Lazy in Life, they were constantly forced into these fights because they didn't have that side lane pressure because they picked up that Cassante so early. So they want to pick up the win here. Play for the top lane. I want to see Strato pop off this game.
Well, we'll see in game 2 if Lazy in Life can start to wake up a little bit. Game 1, they had a plan, didn't really work out. Game 2, they have a bit more late game insurance, but a difficult composition to play. While Unique stick to what they know and stick to the simple plan of Rel, Orianna, Vi. This call has been seen throughout the ages a lot.
EMEA Masters, the only thing you see bot lane is just Rel. Rel is like number one pick through and through for everybody. You hit one major Magnet Storm in the late game, you just win the whole entire team fight for your team and win the whole game. That's why a lot of supports love picking this up. But if Lazy wants to pick up the victory, I want to see high pressure towards top and towards his mid lanes. They win out on the 1v1s. Ahri at that level 9, instantly able to clear those waves. Before that, Orianna will have that push pressure. Milkshake in towards the enemy jungle, flopping down a ward, will be able to spot out where Vi starts, but will be completely countered by Unique placing the ward onto his blue as well. So yet again, both teams trading some vision, and we're going to have to see if Milkshake can stay a little bit more hidden this game, as last time Unique did incredibly well, always spotting out where he was.
Again, it's the question of what is the game plan? And with this ward, it may be heavily telegraphed. There's basically 2 options now. Milkshake will either be splitting the map or playing hard towards Strato, believing that Bananasti cannot punish Deadhound and Touch enough for it to really matter. The Misfortune already played a game where the laning phase was very dominant. The damage is just so difficult for Ezreal to deal with unless Touch lands incredible CC chains on the Tidebringer without Sim being able to block and shield anything.
And I'm debating if there's an opportunity for them to play around this Misfortune, and there's a part of me that would say yes, you want to do that. But the only big issue is bot lane. It's going to be a good stun there. It's not going to happen too much of that. But if they actually play for this Misfortune, I'm just imagining these late game team fights where MF tries to use the ultimate, then he just gets run down by the Vi with Orianna. Then you have Rel by the side lane. Then you have, of course, an Renekton on top of that. Just doesn't really seem that playable. So Lazy are definitely pinning themselves down where these side laners need to win out in these 1v1s. Otherwise, Unique are just going to run away with the game again.
Yep. And top side, you get to see this matchup well. Archfiend. Yeah, the simple tried and true. Will need a couple of levels on the Renekton before he can start properly trading back. And yeah, this is, I think, at least laning phase-wise, considerably better for Lazy. They have decent matchups everywhere, and they have a jungler who can kind of play through one of the lanes wherever he wants to. There is playmaking potential everywhere. The mid lane is the only thing that I'm worried about, because Ari against the Orianna, as you already mentioned before, level 9 will be a bit rough, cannot clear the wave properly. And the ball is one of the few things in the entire game that can match the range of
It's just so much zoning, isn't it?
It is.
If Piper ever walks up just a bit too far, you just get a little bit of poke damage, leaves it there, and just waits to do it over and over and over again. There's a nice little push from Archfiend.
Yep, goes too far, tried to get a ward down. Flash burst from Milkshake. But now the Renekton is in a bit of a pickle. Look at the wave, it's gonna get frozen. Eventually, Touch rotating over, and with no flash, the Viego is stuck at first blood, donated over to the top lane. Quick turnaround there, Unique. Aware of where the Viego is through the wards, knew the plan, and rotated support over to match.
And that's fantastic. The whole goal was to get top lane ahead, get mid lane ahead. We said mid lane doesn't have prio, so he tries to go towards the top side where they find a great catch off onto Renekton. And any other time, it would have worked out. But because their bot lane had no prio and Touch was able to walk up, it means that they're going to lose that Scuttle Crab. Fortunately, they get the bot lane one as well. It means that they can't even split the map now. So yet again, this Renekton in that solo is able to scale up completely fine against it. Dusty's fine in the mid lane as well, as now you see this massive stacked wave where the side of Lazy can't even do anything against it. As the support, sorry, the jungler, Milkshake had to go for that reset and is now offside. So really well played by Unique again.
Dusty able to just dissonance away from the incoming roam.
Look at those wards topside. Like, Dusty, ever walks topside, he knows he's completely safe. This team knows what they want to do. Bot lane, you have an Ezreal, let him farm up. Just make sure that there's no ganks that happen anywhere else on the map, as Lazy should be able to start a little freeze here. Jungle will be going towards the top side, so not going to be able to gain massively anything off this, but will allow Tidebringer at least to be able to farm safely and give Sim an opportunity to look towards mid lane. As this man, still with flash available, can at least get the flash out of Dusty if he's anywhere near.
I've been calling for the jungler to please come and help defend this mid wave. Instead, finds himself in trouble as Milkshake, along with Sim.
That?
I think Milkshake got it. The smite was a bit early from Bananesta, so they escape with a camp. But they need to deal with this Renekton on the top side. It's being a huge pain in the butt for Strato, who was doing well in the lane until the Crocodile got double buffs and level 6 advantage.
Yeah, they could even try and look for the dive here. Counter-Strike is available for Stratos, so the only way that the dive will happen is if you can get a slice and dice before the Counter-Strike comes through, or if you can bait out the Counter-Strike and then find the slice and dice afterwards. There's a little bit of skill matchup in that game, as we see again Milkshake heading towards the top side. Wants to start this up with Renekton being level 6 and having the prior towards the top lane. Milkshake's just not allowed to start this.
Archfiend is just so big.
He is a raid boss. Level 6 Renekton. There's practically no other champion in the game at level 6 that can match him. At least junglers when they're level 5. So now Unique go from bot lane with their prio, get themselves the dragon, head towards the top side to get themselves the void grubs as well. And with Ezreal down bot completely safe, they can't gain anything off this. So Lazy are going to try and go for this dive here, but Rel, knowing that they don't have to be top side, is going to be down here to match it. So if they want to make this happen, it has to be on this wave.
Yep, the town already down to half HP. Sim and Tidebringer looking for it. Ignite already down. One more auto attack through the barrier. They get the kill, but Tower finishes off. A Milkshake in response. Touch is the one to get gold off of that. So a worthwhile 1-for-1 trade denying the wave as well. And no summoners for Deadhound left. So this Israel needs to be careful in the future.
Yeah, they do actually get themselves to only lose 3 minions off that, as the next one's going to be the Cannon Wave, so we'll be back in time to pick that up. So not a massive loss for Unique, so a big win overall as top lane yet again in a position where they're bullying him out.
Yep, Strato has his flash though, so just cannot commit to the cease and desist. Instead, Pibble, holy, gets solo killed by Dusty, not respecting the shockwave damage and just gets blown up.
No teleport available as well, so it's going to lose another wave towards the mid lane. Dusty doing a fantastic job in this 1-for-1. And now I'm starting to see why they're first picking Orianna. If you don't play these AD champions that can try and outscale later the game goes, even use the push pressure against it, Orianna's one of those champions, does amazing in towards these mages.
the queen of mid lane for so many years, along with Syndra.
Man, I've had enough of Syndra because of TFT. I've seen that champion everywhere there. Even though I haven't seen it in my solo queue games, thank God they've, pushed it down a little bit in towards TFT.
The honorary 4-cost carry when she gets 3-starred.
It's because of when you actually use your ability, it's meant to take a second to cast, but it actually takes
what is this? Deadhound just gets solo killed by Tidebringer. Doesn't even need to use the ultimate. Just walks the Israel down. But here's Touch. Gets the flash out of Tidebringer. Forcing the issue. Trying to get some revenge for his AD carry. But yeah,
I'm just sitting there, just chatting, because I'm like, no way he's just auto-attacking and going to die here, right? Apparently I'm wrong. Deadhound going to be taken out there. Going to be a big, substantial thing for Tidebringer. Now a double kill in towards his picket, and when you start looking at the items he's got himself a pickaxe, got himself a BF sword, and 2 long swords on top of that. He's going to deal some damage in this 1v1.
This fortune has been working for Lazy in Life for quite some time now, and Tidebringer just seems very comfortable, and he knows the damage potential at all stages of the game, as he should, and punishes accordingly. Deadhound was being a bit greedy. Without his summoners, wasn't able to match up in DPS. And now, with the misfortune getting ahead and ahead, Dragon priority becomes a factor.
Well, Orianna has prior towards the top side.
Hold up! What? Solo kills all
Solo kill bot, solo kill top lane out of nowhere. Flash getting expanded by Strato to finish that off. Also has the teleport for the Dragon if they want to start that up in a minute's time. But Lazy in Live fighting back towards this game. And we said the top needed to find a lead. That's definitely going to help there.
And with no jungler support either, just finding the straight up solo kill, lets Milkshake start prepping towards the Dragon area coming up in 1 minute. We'll be able to get a reset. They already have established vision in the river. So Unique need to get something done fairly soon. Deadhound taking a ton of damage. Engage coming in from Sim. They want to stop Touch from getting away, but this Rel is just so slippery. Getting the Magnet Storm out of Touch, though, makes the Dragon even that more tempting for Lazy Life.
Bullet time as well available for them. 30 seconds down will allow them to get to this wave later on. But Lazy Life, this priority, you must expect it will be going over. However, in the mid lane, Dusty had flash.
Yep, Spirit Rush used. Oh, a bit early on the W teleport coming in from Archfiend. They want to defend against this. Leaving the top side alone. They just need to get rid of the wave. But the Dragon now becomes something that Unique can play for. They didn't use any of the cooldowns except for Dusty's Flash. And they have the manpower advantage. Okay, Archfiend doesn't want to lose the entire top tower for it. Letting the rest of the team continue the fight as Milkshake and Sim need the AD carry there to be able to properly contest, and no Rakan ultimate to play with.
I mean, they just have Vile, and with this Orianna in the mid lane, they can just try and burst out one person of the enemy team and find that recess top lane.
Yep. Going in, has the full Eclipse, flashes forward, goes underneath the tower, doesn't even need to. Has just the damage, has the item diff, has the damage to easily pick up the solo kill right back against the Jax with no cooldowns.
Really well played from Archfiend, knowing that he has first side completed compared to Strato, who, yes, he has it completed when he finds that reset, but not doing that early enough gets him that solo bolo, gets him an extra 2 tower plays in the top lane, and Unique, knowing the top lane won out, they don't have to go for this risky fight around the Dragon. Instead, they opt to get them Void Grubs, allowing Renekton to become an even bigger monster in this game, because remember, Lazy in Life, the way they wanted to find their lead was do mid, and do top, but with that extra kill and with these Void Grubs over, it should give Unique an opportunity to at least get their laners to last a bit longer in the 1v1.
Off screen, Deadhound has been suffering, and so is Milkshake apparently. Magnestor pulls him back. Now Sim's stuck, has to use the W to get away, and again, good defense coming from Unique. They don't lose too many resources. Dusty is there to pick up the rest of the wave. And they can just rotate Deadhound over off the recall to mid lane. I don't think they can dive this though. Tidebringer and Sim are powerful enough, right?
Yeah. No, Dusty, no way you can dive this unless Baniasti comes down. That ultimate hits onto any member, then they have the damage to do so, but they got no vision onto Pieball, got no vision onto Milkshakes. They could easily find a counteraction towards this, so Lazy for now are going to be safe under this tower, but I'm not sure if they're going to be safe for another wave as Baniasti yet again waiting for this to come through. With the cannon available, they got time.
Yep, no teleports available either to defend. They find Tidebringer charmed up, will be tanking the tower. Dusty takes the kill, escapes with his life, and now they want to go for the second double kill for the mid laner. Milkshake trying to chase down the members of Unique, but they are just too fast with the Orianna ball. And clean dive committed to by Unique.
Yeah, that was fantastic. How in a rail to find that first engage, tank up the tower, gets the first kill, jumps themselves out to safety using the shield from the W to be able to tank the tower shot. Afterwards, Dusty tanking the tower, gets the second kill, walks themselves up, and then Baniasti, being a full HP, being able to tank 4, 5, even 6 tower shots if he needs to, gets themselves the kills and gets themselves out. And Unique really started to step up this game. I've been harping on about how their early game hasn't really been that focused. They haven't been able to find these leads, but consistently, Dusty in the mid lane with the help of Baniasti and Touch has found it. Already got that first side completed on Orianna, and on top of that, has themselves extra AP. So they have enough damage if they want to look for these fights, and they easily have the engage opportunity with Touch of Baniasti. So their comp, a lot stronger this time.
Yep. And true. There is a reason why all the teams across the world have played this sort of a composition in the past. They have a flank from Pebble, but they're just kind of getting zoned out here. No way to commit to this Milkshake.
But look, bot lane. Ezreal can just farm.
Yeah, Israel wants to farm and possibly even take the tower as the rest of Lazy commit to Herald. Eventually, I'd assume. They will be a bit late if they don't go for this soon enough, because sure, they can send Ari down to defend the bot side tower, but then they will be dealing with a Renekton and Orianna against a not that powerful team just yet. They finally get the objective, but Unique wants to fight. Ultimate used by Tidebringer to zone out Dusty, but they may just find Strato flash forward, cease and desist, keep the Jax in place as the Manic Soul used in the Baron Pit to keep Milkshake and Sim right where they stand, taken down. Strato loses his life as well. Sim can't make it over the wall, except if Tidebringer comes to save support. But that's still 2 kills gone over for the Herald.
And it's so difficult for Lazy because they were forcing a fight earlier on. They were like, cool, let's bring everybody up. The wave's in a fine situation, but then how knowing that he's able to push out that wave, is able to get that bot lane tower. And then afterwards, Unique CDRE heading towards bot lane to defend it, make sure that it's a 4 versus 4. So then they flash engage with the ultimate for Baniasti, gets themselves a kill on Jax, finds a look on towards the jungle of Milkshake, picking up an extra double kill on top of that and getting the top lane tower. This top laner is so far ahead on the side of Unique. You see that almost the second item completed for him, only about 400 or 500 off, while this Jax is struggling to get even his boots finished. Yeah, look at that, 1,400 up.
It's starting to be hard to play against. Sure, 4K gold usually doesn't mean too much, but this early on, having those second item spikes while the opponent is struggling to get their first items ready, sure, they are already there, but it's mostly the levels and the speed at which they can follow the item spikes from Unique that's causing them issues.
Do you know what the worst part is? You have an Ari, you have a Viego, and you have a Rakan on your team. You should be the ones moving around the map first.
Yep.
You should be the ones to have control of these side lanes, making Unique come into you. But now you can see, even though they get a top lane tower, Unique can do this.
Yep, it's not even difficult. They just dive Pibble, no way for him to escape. Strato even uses his teleport to get to this bot side tower to defend. But what do they get out of this? Sure, the Herald has been used topside, but now Milkshake is all alone against probably the 2 most dangerous carries on the ring.
100% the 2 most dangerous carries, is he's just going to get taken out here in second for Dusty. And that teleport got used for Strato to defend again.
He used the flash! Well, he's
still dead.
He's 100% dead. There was no way he gets out of there. The rest of Unique was just regularly full clearing the jungle, setting up for Dragon. And Milkshake burns his flash to try and get away.
It was like he was trying to be MI6, the secret agency. He's like, guys, don't worry, I can get myself out. This is going to be for the history books. And then Vi saw him, so the kill doesn't go over. But yet again, Lazy in Life, they try to make plays towards the top side. Then they're like, oh no, Unique's making a play. We have to counter that. And Unique constantly have a result if they do that. They constantly are like, okay, guys, we push here out. Somebody on the side of Lazy is going to come, so then we can make a play here. And that's happened over and over and over again in this play, or in this game, where Unique now have a 5k gold lead, got 2 dragons to their name, 3 kills on mid, 3 kills on your top laner, and 2 kills on your jungle. They are really happy with how this game is going.
They are. And it's again kind of coming down to Lazy not being able to find the proper team fights, and it's just going to get harder and harder. Look at the items. Orianna having Archangels and Zhonya. You're never going to be able to kill Dusty without the rest of the team being there, unless you catch him on a side lane farming. And the Renekton and the Vi are starting to be ahead enough where they're just too tanky. You can't burst them down in a single rotation. And then you have Ezreal. What are you going to do about him?
Yeah, do you wanna hear something even worse? We might have a fight here.
Probably not, Lazy.
Okay, I saw it, Lazy. I thought they were going to go for something there, but 2 wives completed onto Unique's mid, onto Unique's AD carry, onto Unique's top laner. While Lazy have 1 item on everybody. I think that pretty much shows how far ahead Unique is at this point of the game. They can find engagements when they want to. And if Lazy in Life want to find something, use the movement speed you have from your Rakan. Use the movement speed you have from your Ari to make these pickoffs. Because right now, it just seems like they are just letting Unique run away with this game. And Unique focusing the member they need to, making sure that this Viego is constantly behind. There's always somebody in his face, and Milkshake, one of the carries for Lazy. If he had a lead, he'd be able to help his top, help his mid laner. But because he's so far behind, they ever tried to go for a 1v1 and have him join in. It doesn't really matter. Even a 2 versus 2, they're not going to be winning those.
Counter-Strike is spinning, not finding anyone though. And again, this is where it... Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. You have main engage and secondary engage. Rakan usually wants to hop onto someone with his E to... Where was Better Nasty? Well, he makes it out. Anyway, Rakan usually wants to hop onto someone with his E and then reach the enemy backline from there, being a secondary engage onto the enemy backline. Who's gonna hop in first? Because I don't think Strato nor Milkshake wants to be that guy.
100%. The only chance that Rakan has to be that first engage if he's able to find a flank, get in, jump straight back out. That's the only opportunity they have to find that engage. But with the warden on the side of Unique, they're always in a comfortable situation, as quite a bit of damage taken from their side will actually have to give this up. And it's just so hard. Laser built a comp where, yes, it can work if the players are in a position to do so, but it's so difficult to do it that Unique have just kind of said, okay, let's just pick safe, let's just scale up and just let our side laners just be better if we have a jungle that constantly ganks us.
If we have a jungle, you don't even have to.
Okay, man, I get he's 0-4. If I'm in solo queue, I am spam pinging as well, but that isn't his fault. Think about how many times he's been spotted on the ward, how many times mid lane, top lane, even the jungle has come into his face. Milkshake, it's not all of his fault why he is this far behind. It's all to do with the way they've moved around the team together. Is surprisingly, if you put both of these players to solo queue, it's pretty much like who has the better team, because both of these junglers very close in the statistics on what they do for their teams.
And again, it's just the fact that Milkshake has been shut down in this game. It hasn't been able to get really anything done, but Dusty...
Great shockwave.
Bit of danger, yeah, peels away with the shockwave. Stratos slowed up for quite some time here. And with the buy there, this could be a kill onto the all-inning Jax, with the Counter-Strike able to stun him up for a moment, but will be losing his life. And since Lazy in Life are so weak, there is no way they can even start up the Baron here. There's just no danger for them to go and take down the Jax, reset with Dusty. They have the teleport and now start playing towards the Baron area as the side lane threat has been neutralized.
They're just not ready. They could try a 4 versus 3, try to get the victory there, but even then, so difficult to make anything happen. As Unique with that kill and everybody towards the mid lane, they're going to not be able to get the mid lane tower, but they gain full control of this dragon. 30 seconds. You just have to give Soul Point here. You could go towards the top side, but your wave isn't ready for that. So, like, you can't even try to get the inhibitor tower. You can't even get the Baron. In my head, I actually don't know what Lazy can do here except for try and find a pick somewhere on the map.
They also expended the Misfortune ultimate to defend this mid lane tower, but they take the
just gonna go
reset.
down.
It's just gonna go down right afterwards. So with the 6 scrubs, it's not gonna stand a chance against Deadhound and Touch sieging it up. And now they are 5 against 5 at the Cloud Dragon, but Unique is just so far ahead. And they have all the tools to fight with as well. Strato and Notch been kind of testing the limits on the side there, but it's all up to Milkshake. They want to get Dusty, but the Shockwave combo is there, but it goes to Zania. 2 members already gone from Lazy. Sim trying to peel away. The Tidebringer does not have his ultimate to fight in the choke point with. Just an easy double kill for the Renekton, and Unique are heading towards the Baron.
And there's no way that Lazy's going to win that fight without Tidebringer's ultimate. They should have just head towards the top side, started up this Baron, gone for this bot lane tower, tried something in this game, but instead going for that fight, they lose out and practically given over the Baron to the side Unique. They will try to get this mid lane tower and see if they can get something towards the bot side. But you see again, Archfiend is here to clear it. So Unique, the only thing that they're losing for this is one lonely mid lane tower.
And the thing is, I said there was a Shockwave combination. There wasn't. It was just the Magnus Storm. So they lost 2 members without anyone taking any damage from the Orianna, basically. Just went right into the Zonia to save his own life.
Carvis,
How did they win?
Okay. Hear me out. MF Ultimate.
Yeah.
Where's my wombo combo?
I mean, Jack's Counter-Strike flank into Recon, knockups and charm, maybe, perhaps?
Still haven't seen it. I still want to see it. That's the dream.
I think the main thing that you mentioned in the, 5 minutes ago is that it's just difficult. It's just difficult to play this composition. Sure, you may see this sort of composition in LCK. You may see this sort of composition in LPL. But they are some of the best players in the world. And they have almost perfect coordination when it comes to...
Wait, you're telling me the NLC Div 2 doesn't have the best players in the world?
I mean,
I disagree with you wholeheartedly. NLC Div 2 is the best thing I've ever casted.
That may be true, but...
I'm joking. I casted EMEA Masters the other day, and I was like watching all them. I'm like, oh my god, you can do that? Absolutely insane.
EMEA Masters, NLC Division 2, same thing.
Same thing, you know. I'll have one that day, one the other day. You know, there's no real difference. You put Pieball next to somebody on SK Prime, same person, basically, right?
We had Venom Chris almost make it to the main event, and that's a Division 2 team, may I remind you.
Amen. Do you remember? Back in the day, got that perfect season almost. Only lost 1 game in the finals. The good old days, you know, of NLC Div 2.
Those were the good old days. This is not a good day for Lazy, though. It's
not, is it? Today it feels like they've just woken up. They've tried their hardest. They're not able to do much against Unique in this game. Do you know what you just recline on your chair like an old grandpa and you just sit there and
Sim? I'll let you continue in a moment. Sim was looking for a flank, but wasn't able to find a nice vision set up by Unique in that pixel brush. They're just rotating over the entire map, taking down objective after objective. And there's not really much the Lazy can do about it. Sure, they have Misfortune Ultimate to play with, but they need to get something miraculous to happen. Forcing Deadhound's E there. There was an angle where Strato gets in with Sim, but it's just so difficult. They're going in. They want to fight this. They're forcing the issue. Only the front line gets hit. Nice shockwave to take down almost everyone from Lazy in life. Tidebringer just has to watch in horror as the entire team falls apart, and Unique should be able to end the game off of that one.
Carvis, we got the wombo combo. It didn't work out, but we got the wombo combo. Tidebringer hitting a 3, hitting a 4-man ultimate at the end, and I think this just proves what happens when you're this far behind in the game. Unique, able to pick up the victory here.
Yeah, just really, really solid performance. They didn't even need to do anything too impressive other than the occasional solo kills in the solo lanes. Other than that, they played good and solid League of Legends.
Isn't that more impressive?
I think so, yeah.
100%. If I have to go for a 40, 50-minute slugfest where I have to play pinpoint perfect in that team fight to win it out, doesn't that mean that I did something wrong for the first 40, 50 minutes? So for this team to have the confidence to say, you know what, we have to get a kill here, we get a kill there, then we just out macro them. That is really what Unique has to do. So if Lazy in Life want to try and get a way back into this, I want Unique picks. I don't think they can go for the meta and win against Unique. They're a great team, but not good enough. So go for something unique, bring out a new champion, something that changes the pace of the game, maybe even a lane swap. Bring something out to put Unique on a weird angle, and then you can have a chance in this game.
Unique continuing their solid play in game 2. Just one more, and they advance against Rich Gang in the losers finals of the bracket. But they still need to get the one. We're going to head to a break, and we'll see if they can do it. It is looking rough for Lazy in Life after the first initial 2 games. And game 3, they swap back onto blue sides after. So what do you think? What do you think Lazy has to do here? Is the Oriana the solution again?
So I would love to tell you this is perfectly what they're going to do, but I can tell you exactly what they are going to do. They're going to pick Oriana, it's going to pair up with a Riot, and they're going to be happy. That's what's going to happen. They're going to add a Rel on top of that, and everything Unique picked, Lazy in Life is going to pick, going to have the reverse sweep, and it's going to be perfect, and they're not going to pick Misfortune.
The Misfortune is something that, something I'm amazed is Ashe has been completely ignored this series. If this was any of the higher division leagues, I think Ashe would be like, hey,
Ashe
hello.
is fine into Misfortune as well. You have Ashe arrows towards the mid lane. Oriana, yes, it's safe. Imagine you have an Ashe arrow, boom, straight towards the mid lane, picks up a free kill. If that only happens once or twice during the game, incredible, and has engaged opportunity. So imagine if that wasn't an MF and was an Ashe instead. Yes, their laning phase is going to be a bit weaker. Yes, sure. Team fighting wombo combo, not as good. But that first engage, that pick potential with Ashe on their comp would be substantially higher. So I really think they could think about it.
Yeah, the thing I'm picking up of that is some play-by-play notes. Deadhound picks Ashe. Ashe arrow, boom, straight in the mid lane. Why haven't I thought of this? Damn.
No, everything I'm thinking about is in the Olympics. You remember the Turkish guy who just had nothing? The shot. That's just every Ashe player. It's just like, arrow to the side lane. I'll just carry on farming, knowing that they hit a point black ultimate, being able to.
So all Jin players are the Korean woman with all the glasses.
Yeah. We have Ashe versus Jin, Korean woman versus the man. I still think the man's gonna win that. The way that he just rocked up, took the shot, and came out. Really think that's the way to do it. As we're gonna have the.
He got silver though. The Turkish guy got silver.
Did the woman get gold? I don't know.
It did.
Okay. Maybe she would win then.
I think she also set some sort of a record. Can't remember the exact details, but not only do we have those two against each other, we have Lazy against Unique, and the bans seem to beat.
No, I've been getting banned. I'm not sure if that was beforehand. I could be incorrect on that. Of course, having that Seraphine banned away, making sure that Lazy in Life doesn't get their comfort pick onto Tidebringer. I'm going to see if the Oriana wants to get banned away, if Unique feel like it's a big issue for them, or if they're pretty happy to have the handshake, put Azir towards the mid lanes. Azir did actually die quite a few times early on, but can you really blame him when you have just Poppy halfway across your screen, flash W in on you?
Oriana ban.
Who is first? You have Azir available, Talia as well.
No, you don't have Azir available. Azir is also banned. They changed it up for fun. Yeah, and Maokai gets locked in. Lazy is done. They want buttons to press. they are done with the Viego. They want to have a jungler where you can just press R and get an engage going.
Thing is, Milkshake very much of those hyper carries. So now that he's put on something a little bit more tanky, we're going to have to see if that's going to work out for them. Still flexible towards the support role, of course. Viego getting locked in from Unique. Ari very much a safe mid laner that the side of Unique can pick up if they want to. Massive fan of it. Pairs up amazingly with that. But instead, they can go for something else. I'm not going to get baited too early. I saw it, Carlos. I saw like the little like light in your eyes of like, guys, we got this.
Hey, RMI, ever heard of this before?
Believe so. Heard about pick potential, especially when you're into something like an Ezreal that seems a bit slimy and dodgy. It's able to fuck that down.
That's really early to reveal the Maokai support, though. They had the flex there, so...
Can go Maokai top.
I mean, I guess...
Not good, but can be possible, as we're going to have to LeBlanc locked in, a great matchup in towards that Ari, has easy dashes in and dashes out, and more importantly, has burst damage. Now if Viego and LeBlanc find somebody, catch somebody out, would be really good for that. So both of these mid-jungle duos, if they get a lead, they can very hard snowball it through. As through the second bad phase, finally, no MF. Lazy and Life pretty comfortable to have that taken off their hands, as we will have the Aatrox banned away. Most likely another top laner. I'd most like the Camille up there, especially when you want to most likely put a tank up there to have a front line for that, well, for the jungle and for the mid.
Interesting that they're banning out Misfortune and Jhin. Because isn't this sort of a composition kind of fit for a hyper carry? Things like Jinx, like Zeri, everything just works so well.
I really like the Jinx because of the reset timings you can get with the Vi and Ari. Get yourself a reset real quick by bursting someone out through the charm, get the reset, get them to carry the game, play front to back with your Maokai. Plenty of different... Likely will be in towards that bot lane. Most will get paired up with that Nautilus. The only mage tank engage left. Lazy, now with their supports, they can either go with Khan for extra engage, or they can pick up maybe a Braum here. They want to play a little bit more defensive. But I feel like Rakan's the option here. Have the Vi go in first, have the Rakan join in afterwards.
Well, the AD carry is the one I'm most interested in, because they could... Zyra could work, considering there's a LeBlanc and Viego there. Kai'Sa also has some self-peel to get away with. Also, eventually, once you get a couple of AP items, the Void Seekers will start hurting a ton. Also, they have the Maokai already. What are we talking about? We know the support. The Kai'Sa gets locked in for the top lane.
I'm just still believing in the Maokai top days. Remember when his ultimate was... circle around him that gave him debuff. He just slaps his hands together. He's able to deal huge damage. I remember that Maokai. So Nars going to get locked in at the end. Great in towards the Cassante. Not really much to say. Saw it into game one. Winning on that matchup later on in the game goes. Bot lane, no. Very interesting. I still want to give it over to the side of Unique. I think you have great poke damage from the Ezreal. Great burst damage with that Viego and with the Nautilus on top of it. And both of these teams holistically, I'm preferring Unique with the way they've drafted, but if Lazy and Life find pick potentials with the Vi, with the Ari, and then of course the ultimate coming out of this Kai'Sa, Lazy and Life can cook something here.
Yeah, Unique, I think the only place where they really need to be careful at is mid lane. As you said, historically, Ari has done quite well into LeBlanc, but in the recent years, it has started to turn around as a matchup, just because the way LeBlanc plays nowadays is so much different. You have, as you said, the ability to dash back and forth, and against junglers like Vi, who Ari is paired up with, usually, LeBlanc doesn't really care. You just aren't ever in range, and even if you are, you're gonna use distortion twice underneath your tower and watch the Vi cry.
Yeah, really difficult. One thing I really like doing against Leonas as well is whenever they hit the E onto you, just flash on the tower. And then they just say that, like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. Why am I taking so much tower damage? So really going to be interested to see how the Vi plays into LeBlanc. I don't expect them to really be focusing the LeBlanc. They're most likely going to wait for Ari to get that level 9, get push pressure in the lane, go in towards the enemy jungle, and start looking for fights. And crucially, towards the bot side of the jungle, you have the Kai'Sa that can ult into it as well. Of course, Maokai can find CC for the team. So plenty of different opportunities for Lazy to find that lead. It's just about, can they do it? Because the last 2-3 games, I don't want to say they felt lazy, but they've kind of just gone with it. They haven't really push their leads at all.
I think that it's come down to the difficulty of the compositions that they draft. This time around, it's so much easier. You have Maokai,
Press on.
you have Vi, you have comfort on most of your players, and you have a chance to get on the board and start the reverse sweep. Unique will do everything that they can to stop it in this game 3.
This is the hardest hurdle for Lazy. After you lose 2 games, the morale's low, the confidence isn't there. If Lazy can pick up the victory here, I'm much more confident that they're going to be able to find the clean sweep. So it's super important for them to find a good early game. As Unique heading towards the top side, trying to see if they can place a ward down, can even go for a lane swap if they want to. Not a massive fan of Ezreal being in that lane swap instead. So it's just going to be 5-point holds from both of these teams, seeing what they can find.
We've seen quite aggressive level 1 so far in the series. This time, there's some adaptation there. Unique going into the topside brush to make sure that the Gnar doesn't get punished early on. I'm just surprised we haven't seen anything a bit more aggressive, like 125 invades being tested in a best of 5 environment. Sometimes those flippy plays can net such a huge advantage against champions like the LeBlanc, who at level 1 don't really do much.
And you really should be expecting that at this level of League of Legends is going for those 125 plays, because it's a bit like chess. You can make a play that is one move forward. So you're like, hey guys, we need to gank bot lane. Let's gank bot lane. I'm here. Then you go a little bit further ahead and you're like, okay guys, I'm going to path towards bot lane to find that gank. And then when you start getting towards these 125 invades, it's more about, okay, if we go for this invade, I can path this way, force the enemy jungle to be here, giving myself an opportunity to do this, and then look for a gank bot lane, as we will have a fight.
Not only a gank, getting some auto attacks in, burning the barriers. They're just fighting to the death. Tidebringer getting away underneath the tower, dead out of touch. The play goes horribly wrong. They try to match the damage output, but instead give up 2 kills to Sim.
And that's the League of Legends we live for. How much fun. I mean,
what are they doing?
What can you even say? Do you remember before when we had Ezreal versus the Misfortune? They just kind of just auto-attacked each other. No matter if you're going to win or lose, you're like, hey man, I'm auto-attacking to the death no matter what. We get that 2 times in a row in 2 different games. As 2 kills will be going over towards the Maokai. Not the champion you want, but at least you got a double kill in towards this early game. And you got a question, why did Unique do that? Kai'Sa's stronger earlier on than the Ezreal. You're literally walking in towards the enemy waves. So you take more damage on top of that. And you give Kai'Sa an isolated Q. Just everything about that was a bit awkward on the side of Unique. And I talked about confidence early. The double kill definitely does that for them.
I'm guessing the plan was to just try and match the DPS onto the
I don't think there was a plan. It was just like brain off, deal damage, we win, right?
They did get the initial hook. That's a ton of damage already. It's just that the Kai'Sa Maokai duo is able to do so much more back.
And Ezreal can't even hit Qs because there are minions in the way. Just everything just wasn't right on the side of Unique. As Dusty in the mid lane doing very good against Pieball. How this matchup goes is if Ari's able to hit an E, it's an even trade. Ari doesn't hit an E, it's a very bad trade. That's probably the simplest way to talk about that, as we already see the Ezreal and the Nautilus heading towards the mid lane. See if they can find a pick here. Really well played around this vision yet again. Won't be able to find the kill, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from Unique. This is one of the strongest teams we have in NLC around their game of vision. Constantly knowing where the enemy jungler is and constantly being able to play accordingly to it to make plays in the mid lane like that and know you're not getting ganked.
And they just need to keep this up and let the solo laners do their thing. In decent enough matchups, especially Archfiend has played a good series over all. The Renekton game was beautiful, got so far ahead, and it took over the map eventually. While Strato hasn't really shown the dominance that he showed in the previous series with the Kennen pick.
100%. Kennen getting banned away whenever they wanted to go for the R5 Kennen. Then they've just been like, okay, let's play for mid, let's play for bot, top lane, stay safe. And everything they've been looking at the way they played the whole way through the season, where the statistics have been the person who has the most kill share, the most jungle presence, it has been top lane. So I want to see them play a little bit more around it, but it's hard when he's playing Cassante.
Mid lane, there's a solo kill as Milkshake and Strato manage to pick up the Gnaw. Won't even burn the flash to try and avoid it. Seems like Pybel might have found a charm to take.
I think the E landed for sure.
Yeah.
And seemed like Sim was able to gank at the back of that as well. And I think the big actual thing was, Pybel went for the teleport before that, so the items you see in the pocket already got 2 on towards that Dark Seal, has themselves the Amplifying Tome as well, so has a bit more damage you would expect in this 1v1 matchup. And with the gank as well, get themselves the kill as we do see Dusty died under that tower. Well, towards the top side, we have a kill, we have a Cole onto Archfiend. So even though that kill went over, once that is able to get procced, going to be completely even in the top side again.
And now the mid lane matchup turns a bit more volatile, as Dusty does not have his flash. It's going to be difficult to try and poke this Ahri without taking a nice chunk of damage yourself. The good thing about the dive is that Sim actually did die underneath the tower as they dove with the LeBlanc, so he got a kill out of it, and is the Lost Chapter ahead, will not be running out of mana anytime soon, but Pibble with the Dark Seal will be looking to snowball this advantage.
And that's what we want from Lazy in Life. Snowball the advantage. You have the Vi, level 6 pretty close as well. That's when the major go button is, and if you can look for mid lane without any flash available, really could be helping out. As this dragon's going to be taken by Unique, no contestations over there. As Lazy bot lane still needs to catch that wave of reset, timing from typing a little bit late as well. Means that is not in any shape or form possible, so we'll go for the Void Grubs instead. Could actually look for a top lane gank pretty soon with level 6 on Pybel and Milkshake getting it in a camp or 2. But of course, with Baniasti coming up as well, will mean that won't happen.
They just need to defend the objective, as having both Dragon and the Grubs go over the Unique would be annoying, to say the least. With all the supports rotating over as well, they will most likely be contesting this, no matter who starts it. Especially Bananyasti is the one to look for it initially, but mid lane priority is there for Unique, as they are now heading over to the objective. At least one will get fought out. Milkshake the target. CC's up Dusty, but there's no follow-up just yet. Will be getting bursted by Pibble, but they just can't reach him. Sim will almost die, getting healed by his top laner. Finally dies, gives the reset over to the Viego, and the jungle of Lazy too low to continue the possession.
And Sim created such good space for the team, making sure that Archfiend and Baniasti weren't where they wanted to be. But with Touch having the first room up, he's able to get themselves the victory in that fight. And now with an extra kill on the pocket towards the top lane and getting themselves the Void Grubs as well, they lose completely nothing towards the bot side. So if Lazy wanted to make that play, I think that had to be a 5-man play. Get Kaiser to push out bot lane from the prior they have, and then look to go for that fight. But towards the top side, Unique are looking to dive this. Ultimate available.
Unstoppable is the thing that Strato needs to use. Well, he gets all the CC into the Unstoppable, and now switching over the tower aggro won't matter. Milkshake is here, taking down Archfiend, Bananasti, taking damage from the minions. Will be escaping underneath the tower, trying to get the execute, but it's not gonna work out. Double kill for Milkshake. Great defense onto the dive by Lazy in Life.
And it was just amazingly played, being able to get that CC off when he needs to. Strato now gets a double kill, both going over towards that fire. Milkshake, remember in that first and that second game, difficulties early on, constantly being able to get scouted out, always on that back foot. Finished last game, I believe, 0-5 at the end of that. So now with 3 kills into their pocket and Milkshake having confidence, we'll have to see if this player can carry through, as he has been the real playmaker for this team. Yes, Sim has been there when he's needed to, but with that Vi ultimate coming off cooldown, we'll see what play he's going to make. Because bot side with level 6 on Tidebringer and Sim, that really could be the place to do it.
There is a chance here, at least. Just need to get the engage properly going. Sim is still not level 6, neither is Touch. Has been sacrificing some of the XP just to make sure that their AD carries are fine. And once the Maokai and the Nautilus hit the level 6 marks, then the junglers will start doing work down on that bot side of the map. Until then, it's going to be a bit of a farm fiesta. There's no objective to play around until the dragon spawns in a minute and a half or so.
Do you know what I find very curious? Look at the boots that Sim brought. He went for the swiftness boots. I guess it allows him to move around the map more, allows him to roam around with Milkshake to get things going, gets him to find engages quicker to enemy teams, and also stops a slow from Nautilus E. So I'm not sure that slow is the most important part. So we're going to have to see if Lazy is able to figure out something from there.
I guess the plan is that he is purely on peeling duty. Won't be going in after the ultimate at all, just making sure that Tidebringer and Pibble don't get collapsed onto by the Viego. So he won't be a target for the rest of Unique to be burst down. More of a defensive style of support Maokai there. This is certainly not defensive though, as Touch has to use his flash, but there's so much CC and damage coming his way. Will be dying right before the dragon spawn.
And welcome to Lazy's comp. That's exactly what we wanted from them. Finally engage with the ultimate. Everybody just dogpiling. Every person, use your ult. Find what you can do, as they will be looking more bot side.
Yep, a nice buffer there from Dead Hound, escaping underneath the tower.
No isolated Q on Kai'Sa, so won't be able to find themselves the kill there. Dragon up in 30 seconds. Definitely a possibility from this Lazy roster. My difficulty is, look at all their ultimates on the left-hand side. Only Sim has that available, so I think they need to either wait a while, then go for the dragon. Otherwise, I'm not sure they can take this fight.
It is a tough spot that they've put themselves into, using so many resources on the Touch. Tidebringer, though, with a nice sidestep, may be able to escape. There's no hook, doesn't land, and they can turn this around now if Touch isn't careful, using the death charge onto Tidebringer, and, well, the teamfight has pretty much been peeled away. Expending a ton of resources once again, letting Unique get the dragon priority, but they should be perfectly happy not losing anyone there.
Yeah, going to be happy with how that played here, because the small possibility that Lazy in Life had was that your AD carry had HP advantage over the enemy.
They want to.
They're going to go for this.
They're going to contest this now that Unique used a ton of cooldowns there. They feel like they can just walk up and take the dragon, and Unique lets them.
And that's completely fair. If they actually went for the fight when they did, the ultimates would have been at the back end of it, at least for Pieball and Milkshake. So Lazy, really well played there, able to make sure that Unique use every ability they need to, found the disengage, and then re-engaged to get themselves their first dragon of the game. And now, Lazy and Life have woken up. I actually feel like this team now has a plausibility of winning the game, because now that they've got the first play, top lane went super well for them as well. Now this Vi is 4-0. She can practically do what she wants and find engage whenever she wants. It was just a little bit too early before that dragon.
I think it's all coming down to playmaking potential. There's just more tools for Lazy Life to respond to Unique's aggression with. Sure, you had the initial 2-on-2 down at the bot side skew the tables a little bit, but on the top side as well, where Milkshake has had a really good presence, making sure that the counter matchup doesn't go that badly for the
100%.
Kazante.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. As the big thing that Unique has done super well in this series so far is they are able to make a play somewhere, push somebody from the side of Lazy and Life to come there, then they make a play somewhere else using that numbers advantage. But now Lazy and Life being the ones to be on the front foot, Unique are never able to set this up. So now in an even footing, Lazy and Life with the comp they've drafted, they can easily pick someone off, because Vi Ultimate, Dogpile Lin, they're in a pretty solid position now.
Yeah, and now it all comes down to who can set up for the Herald and start accruing a gold advantage there. Heading into the mid game, who do you think has the advantage?
You just have to give it to Lazy and Life. No ease of simplicity, find those engages early on, because even if they look onto that Viego, able to one-shot it now with their jungler because of how far ahead they are, should have that first dive completed. While the side of Lazy and Life, they have to play very methodically, because they have that Ezreal down towards the bot lane. We talked about it earlier. Great with poke damage, but needs that first item to start really packing that punch. If you know Trinity Force available, you kind of could just walk through his poke and be kind of okay with it. So Unique is now in the situation they were in game one, where yes, they're strong, but they're not strong enough just yet for these fights. So scale up, get yourself to the position, and get your LeBlanc first item. That's when you can start cooking.
First item will take a while though. The Ahri has hit level 9. Sure, there's no sorcerer's boots, but the casters will be getting one-shot by the Q. And with those Merc treads, does the won't be dealing that much damage to the Ahri.
I mean, but you need that. You just need push in mid lane, make sure that you can support Milkshake when they go for the plays. And that's exactly the same of what Tidebringer in the bot lane has been thinking about is, okay, cool. So we're going to play for top side right now. At least I have to stack Shiv. Let me quickly clear this wave, make sure that I'm safe and wait for the team to come around. Everybody's making sure that they have push pressure except for top lane to be able to move for Milkshake. So the world's his oyster at this point.
The oyster will be getting cracked soon if Sim and Tidebringer are not careful.
I mean, a tide would break an oyster if it's strong enough.
True.
So I could crack that thing right open.
I think they spotted the Viego out. Yeah, they're collapsing towards him. Bananasti will have to get out as soon as possible because Ahri and Maokai chasing you is not what he wants to deal with.
And they were just a little bit too late on that engage because they knew that they wanted to go for the Void Grubs on the side of Lazy and Life. So they want to, of course, make a play on the opposite side. But 10, 15 seconds too late on that allows them to roam back down and make sure they don't let this play happen, as Nautilus won't be able to find the reset too early. Yet again, putting his tempo off by just a little bit.
And this static shiv is just so annoying. Then how the touch can't move.
Shifts as well. Like, this item, in any sort of AD carry, when you want to play for a different lane, you want to play for somewhere else, just pick it up, clear the wave, and that's why we even see Ashe picking it, because you can clear the waves each with Static Shiv, and then Crystal Arrow to help out the team.
And that's probably why Dusty's being rotated over the bot side now. Deadhound and Touch can't make it to the incoming objectives if there is... we'll talk about that later, because Archfiend getting caught out a little bit, trying to hop over the wall, but there's so much CC on this trio of Lazy in Life. Nar cannot escape that at all. Just hopped over the wall outside of vision. Really, really nice pathing from Lazy in Life. Unique have to give up the objective and try to play towards this bot side of the map, as Pibble is the only one currently defending there, but the rest of the team slowly collapsing, will be spotted out now, but here comes the Maokai ultimate touch, and the Viego are in trouble. Bananasti most likely can't help his support, will be losing his life, and with teleport into mid lane, most of the aggression should be.
Yeah, it should be completely okay here. Piebald get a little bit of poke damage towards the mid lane, but yet again, Lazy in Life finding the pick. They have easy engage opportunities, and they constantly are pushing and pushing forward. And now, Milkshake isn't the only one with the damage. Mid lane, you said, with those Merc Treads, he's not going to have enough, but with Malignant's finishing, Piebald are going to be able to deal enough damage to take someone out like Dusty, like a Bananasti, or even a Deadhound, as every single member, except for Nautilus or Nart in his Mega Form, aren't going to be able to even tank this, and even Nautilus can't tank it without having that first item completed.
And this is more of what we expected from Lazy in Life going into the series. They really shine when Pebble and Milkshake get to play together on these mid-jungle duos that have been proven to work well together. And you can see it here. The Ahri and Bai are doing work across the entire map and not letting Unique play the game that they've played for the past 2 games.
Yeah, and this is what you expect from Lazy in Life. This aggressive, this team that wants to get stuff going. And finally, they are on the front foot, having plenty of confidence in the way they play. If they have full vision around this dragon, Unique, I don't think they should be starting this fight. They should just try and stay more defensively sound, look for this top lane instead. But we will have to see if that's what Unique want to do.
And they should be at least stepping towards the river. They have no vision around the area, so having Touch and Dusty eventually go there with their sweepers up, secure themselves at least some information, but seems like they are perfectly happy to let it go. Instead, they're trying to shut down Pibble up on the top side of the map, Bananasti and Dusty rotating over. They need to interrupt this recall before it goes through. Charm lands, will be taking a nice chunk and escaping right after. But instant response from Lazy in Life. They crack the Herald, will be taking down the mid lane tower. And with Archfiend's Millionaire popped, they don't really have a way to force the fight either.
But at least towards the top lane, Dusty's going to be able to get this top lane tower. They can even look for the mid one as well and just pick up this go, get yourself towards those 2 items where you can start contesting these fights. But Lazy, because they know they're this strong, they can just start a fight here, even 4 versus 3.
The root will land onto Nautilus. Can't even proc the Aftershock, just getting bursted down. Has to flash away, but the Ignite's ticking will be securing the kill. Sim one to pick it up. And now Strato looking for an all-out angle, but with the Hex Gates there, Unique are able to rotate back into their own jungle, but Milkshake this entire time is free to take the Hextech Dragon, and this soul, super valuable.
So overall, Unique's able to get a top lane tower, yes, as
Where's
Sim.
Sim?
Not sure you're allowed to be there.
Nope. The rest of the team has reset, so Sim stays back and tries to secure some vision around the Baron Pit area. Instead finds the enemy team securing vision around the Baron Pit area. A small donation over.
And that's just a great example of just not understanding when the tempo is available for the team, because yes, you win out the fight, but afterwards you see Milkshake being in different areas, Dead Hound.
Teleport from Ari as well. Yeah, Dead Hound's been caught, taken down, and now with the rest of the team stuck inside enemy jungle touch. Oh no, I have a feel that this will be a 5 at the second number soon enough. Just doing a small loop-de-loop around the inner tower, checking the views, and they're just going to donate the kill over to Pebble. 501 full stacks on the Dark Seal.
And that is so difficult to go against Pebble, dealing so much damage now with those 10 stacks and having that first item completed. And that's not even the strongest member on their team. This Kaiser with 6 assists has the second item available, already getting themselves the Rage Blade, doing an amazing job. Tidebringer being able to scale up into this game, 185 CS at 20 minutes. Not bad at all. But with these plays, everything seems to be going well for Lazy in Life. Got the mid lane tower. Got the top lane tower.
Sim barely misses the LeBlancs hiding in the brushes. And there was small follow-up. Killer Instinct available for Tidebringer was in range if they land even a single piece of CC onto the LeBlanc. May have lost his life there. Dusty, I think, the shining member of hope from Unique, has 2 items and a decent amount of farm. They just need to find the picks for the LeBlanc.
Yeah, they definitely need to find the picks, as LeBlanc was a counter-action in towards the Ahri. Great in the lane, you saw they're able to find that solo bolo, but ever since, because they haven't been able to find a lead, they can't keep pushing this forward. Yes, you have the damage, but if you got a little bit too far with how ahead Milkshake is, you're just going to get ulted, CC'd up, and then with Piebald joining up afterwards, it just doesn't seem fun to go against it. So Unique, with a little bit more vision to their name, now getting control towards the mid lane, I'm going to start seeing some damage coming out from Dusty in towards the back line, and Deadhound finding his poke.
The poke just needs to land safely, though. And that's a challenge. There's just so much pick potential on Lazy with the Ahri Vi. If the Ezreal overcommits even a little bit to a Mystic shot, you'll get a key target CC chained instantly.
Yeah, but bot lane, we actually have Archfiend a little bit too high up here. Is going to get caught out by the Vi. They do have a teleport available into Dust if they want to stop this.
I don't think they want to commit to that. Yeah, the Arch is gone. There is no way this small critter can survive the burst coming his way. But Anesti taking what he can outside of his bot side jungle, as long as he doesn't die for it. The wolves are still up, but he just doesn't dare to go and contest it. There's too many members in the mid lane ready to rotate over in case a catch happens.
Gonna get moved out. Bot lane tower hasn't been taken just yet, but Ahri with that next wave will be finishing that off. And it's just where Gnar is just too pushed up. All their vision was towards the top side, so then Vi expecting to be up there. Goes a little bit too far. Archfiend gets killed off, and the top or bot lane tower gets taken out as well. And now they're in a position where they're almost 4,000 gold down here. They don't really have control of the Baron. They don't really scale amazingly well into the game. What they really have to do is just find a pick, find poke somewhere. But it feels like they're just a weaker version of Lazy in Life, as both want to find picks, but of course you'll take the Viari over something like a Nautilus Viego.
Is considering the game is 13-3, being only 3k down is a miracle.
Yeah, 100%, but we can see why that is. Towards top lane even, mid lane 2k down, mid lane even. jungle or AD carry 500 down, and then supports there's 1,000 difference. So the only real major place that you see a difference is towards that jungle, because look at the CS difference that Dusty is able to make. He's 40 CS up, making a 6-0 carry seem like the exact same.
And it feels like Unique know this. They are looking for the fight, already getting a ton of cooldowns out. They found Dusty though. Dusty's away from the rest of the team, has flash over the wall. Damage is there. Pibble's godlike right in their faces. Tidebringer's dealing so much damage, but NLC gets the first reset. Shutdown onto the Vi. Pibble's still alive, but another triple kill to Viego. The resets are coming in clutch as Unique get a 3-for-3 trade, but the shutdowns make it so much more valuable for them.
And this is huge from the side of Unique. This gold lead has plummeted down to almost nothing. It's now 2 versus 2. Lazy can try to do something here, but I'll just give it up with them. Smite's available as well for Baniasti.
Yeah, there is no jungler to work with, so this dragon will buy some additional time for Unique to get back into the game. And what a way to get back in. It looked doomed at the start, but the one flash from Dusty right back to his team over the wall made it so that both of the carries from Lazy in Life had to commit hard to the play. And once the Ahri and LeBlanc are in, they need to deal with a Viego and Gnar on their faces.
And that's the big thing you talked about. They have to deal with Viego in their face. Because the big reason you pick Viego in towards the Vi is both of these teams very snowball heavy. But if this Vi gets bursted easily, you find that reset and you take over these fights. There's another one's happening.
Yep, they thought they found Pibble and Milkshake. At least Milkshake gets taken down, but the carry is still mostly untouched. Tidebringer still free hitting. Israel's gone, and this fight is still going the way of Unique. The resets are just way too difficult for them to deal with, and Lazy in Life may lose the Baron from this.
They're going to lose the Baron, and they might lose their lead in this game. Baniasti finding the reset, only 100 HP as Vi finds the engage. Hybel jumps over the wall to try and finish him off, but Vi dying just a second earlier means with him getting taken out, with that reset coming through, is one after another, after another, after another. They get the victory on this fight, they get themselves the Baron, and Unique has completely turned this game around.
It only takes 1 or 2 team fights, and Bananasti has taken over the entire game. Almost 3 items now completed on the Viego. Look at the gold influx. He was so far behind, and all of a sudden he's one of the richest members on the entire Rift.
And that's not even the big thing for me. I understand why he has a lead. But Dusty in this mid lane, with the amount of CS he has, 2-2-6 versus 7-1-3, has a gold lead. He's 100 CS up on Pieball, just showing how incredible this player is at scaling into the game. Because if he didn't CS that much, they would have been able to find that first kill and turn this game around.
Now, with the Baron buff at their hands, they want to start rotating and increasing this gold lead in the towers on the target. Dusty already setting up the wave for it. As the top laners fight over the mid wave, there is very few chances for Lazy in Life to actually fight against this. The tower already so low, and Dusty can just keep looking for a small poke onto the carries that are there to hold off the wave. Even using the True Shot Barrage to get some additional poke there. So first tower gone from this Baron power play. Still
Now
looking to find more.
Well. Pretty happy with doing an easy 4-1 up, 4 down towards the bot lane, 1 in the mid lane. All they have to be careful of is if they have an engage onto one of their members. If one member is left alone inside a Unique, we've seen how quick Lazy are on Powton on top of that. So they need to be very methodical on the way they play, making sure that they don't overstep, make sure they don't make a mistake. Because if Unique lose one team fight here, Lazy can easily turn it back into their favor.
If they lose a team fight this close to their base, it may even be the end of the game if they lose it. Like, even 3 members alive from Unique it's enough for them to end the game with. On the flank, Sim looking for the ultimate, and Unique now realize what is going on. Retreat into the jungle for now, using the ultimate to peel away. CC onto the back line. They're collapsing, but the huge ultimate from Dusty takes a nice chunk out of Tidebringer. There's still nobody dead. Archfiend eventually will fall, but the Viego still 100% alive. But the rest of the team is getting kited down. Charm onto Deadhound. They get the 2 frontliners from Unique, but they still need to deal with the carries.
Yeah, Banyasti making a bit of a small mistake there. Instead of trying to help out the team, tries to kill Tidebreaker by using the Flash Ultimate. Fortunately, only 1 member died the team, and they are going to be able to stay alive. But if he played it the other way, maybe this mid lane inhibitor was going to go down for them. But this jungler is popping off. Banyasti, 3 items towards his pocket, and now with that Sterix Gauge, is going to be in a position where he is going to be able to tank a lot more. So harder for Lazy in Life to try and push through. And that's the big thing for Lazy, is they are great at point-and-click CC onto 1 member because of the Vi ultimate. Issue is, if you use everything onto Banyasti, Deadhound is able to free fire, Dusty's able to free fire, especially when he has 3 items on this LeBlanc. He could be such a menace towards the backline.
Also, most of the CC is very telegraphed from Lazy, so even a well-timed Heartbreaker would be able to get Bananasti out of the situation. Not for Touch, though. Touch is way more squishy and way harder to escape with. Without the Nautilus, they can't really provide enough peel, so they're just going to give the Dragon away and Soul Point over the Hextech Soul. Lazy in Life are still not down.
And that's the big issue with Nautilus in towards the enemy comp, is you can't go anywhere by yourself. You're not tanky enough because you're not that far ahead. Yes, you have first eye completed, but that just isn't enough. So with great vision from Lazy and with no support from Unique, able to pick up that kill, getting themselves a dragon and getting themselves a foothold yet again in this game. As now, with Unique dying there, they just have to completely run away as Lazy have that numbers advantage.
They saw Bananasti and Dusty around this area. Both of them sneakily snuck away as Strato stuck on the other side of the map. We've seen this before. He is sometimes fine with the sideline duty, but Cassante, he really wants to be in the thick of it when it comes to the upcoming objective fights in a minute or so.
Yeah, you know when you have those days, you're like, oh, I just have to do, you know, the boring job before I can actually do the stuff that's fun. I feel like that's Strato on the side lane. He's like, okay, I'll clear out the wave. Can I team fight now? So we'll have to see if they can get anything cooking in that way. As Gnar has done pretty well on gaining this side lane pressure, constantly making it where Strato has to try and match him. But with Banayasti down here, they could maybe look for a play, but no information on the Lazy side. I don't really expect much to happen, so the next major play in 50 seconds around this Baron.
Dusty's taking a lot of damage from this poke coming out from Tidebringer. Yep. As said, we mentioned this in draft, kind of passed on it, but AP Kaiser eventually will become a problem due to the lack of range on Unique team composition. Like, sure, they have Ezreal, but that doesn't match up to a Void Seeker.
Yeah, completely agree with you there. Luckily, point-and-click CC is pretty prominent on this Unique lineup with that Nautilus Ultimate, and with Dusty having plenty of ways in. I think they have different ways of getting around it, but they have to make sure that when they're in position, they finally engage quick. Otherwise, the Kaiser's just going to poke them out like they are here. Fortunately, has been nerfed quite a bit in some recent patches, so hopefully it's not going to be able to burst someone out too easily.
It requires the plasma proc, requires 2 hits, and if this smoke ultimate doesn't find anyone, this could be a hard engage to go commit to. Huge distortion onto the back line. The Archfiend still hasn't gone into Mega. They get 2 almost instantly, and the Viego already popping off. Just a very, very good turnaround from Unique. And Dusty on the LeBlanc playing so well, finding that double distortion angle right on top of Tidebringer.
I feel like Dusty has been the hero of all of these games, from the Orianna and now towards the LeBlanc, has constantly been able to get these big teamfight ultimates, found different ways to get themselves back, as if he wasn't this far ahead, Badiasti wouldn't be able to find that first reset to carry the game afterwards. And now, having only 2 members alive on Lazy, Unique should just be able to pick this up.
They are trying to contest it though. Pebble is there, will do a respectable amount of damage if he lands his kill shot, but the LeBlanc just does not care. Archfiend goes into Mega, trying to chase down the enemy team. Dusty will get charmed, but it doesn't matter, still survives most of the CC coming his way. And they are... This is an amazing comeback. They were 13-3 down, trying to claw it back. Now 4K up, securing the second Baron, and maybe even trying to end the games.
And that's the power of Viego, isn't it? You're one kill away from carrying the game. You find that one reset, the game's over. Same with Carthage. You get towards the late game, one big ultimate could be make or break from the team. But now with Baron available, their second one of the game, they could push this mid lane tower. They can look for this top lane tower as well, especially with Ari being down for the next 10 seconds. If Unique want to try and push this through further, this Baron has to at least get 2 inhibitors.
Well, initial tower now gone. They won't be even trying to defend this, instead sending Strato further up in the lane, just trying to take out the waves. Thing is, Dragon spawning. What is that?
Ouch!
Oh, there's no magic resistance on this Cassante.
This Cassante is actually almost one-shotable by Dusty.
I think
is that?
I think he is. I think he's in that range where Dusty, if Strato face checks the brush, Dusty will one-shot him.
I don't want to believe it. Even if it's true, I don't want to believe that Cassante can get one shot by Dusty, even though he does have a level lead and he very much does have an item lead over him. So we will have to see if something will come of that. This is going to be sole point for Lazy if they can pick it up. But the problem is, can they walk in? Unique already littered wards in towards the enemy river. And they just need to find one pick onto one person, find that reset for Baniasti, and they should be able to win these team fights.
The longer Lazy Life can buy time for, the more they lose out on the Baron power play and the HP pools of anyone who's taking Kai'Sa poke. They are looking for Tidebringer though. Dusty expends the second distortion, and this is the sign for Lazy to go in. Flash out from Touch, trying to get away as far as he can. Archery can't go into Mega. They get the support, but what happened to you, Milkshake? He's gone, but Tidebringer still untouched. They get the reset onto the Kai'Sa. Viego goes, double kill for Bananasti. Pebbles taken down low by Dead Hound. Surely the backline Strato's doing his best, but they're not. It's too difficult to deal with. All members of Lazy Life are down except for the RE, soon to follow if the Viego can reach a crucial sidestep, stays alive, but now the carries are on the next inhibitor towers. Most likely won't end the game here, but they're gonna crack the base.
But what a comeback Unique is able to make. Reset after reset after reset. Viego able to get Unique back into the game, and with 2 inhibitors down, they get themselves out to safety. And with a 6,000 gold lead, Lazy and Life is starting to look so difficult to make this play, as they will be trying to contest for this Dragon with everything they've got. I think it's just going to get taken out too quickly.
I think Milkshake is shook. He got deleted in that previous fight. Still has all the cooldowns left because he didn't get to use them.
This is why you pick Vi. Oh, this is why you pick Viego into Vi. Vi has to go in. You just wait for her to be there, and then you get yourself out. So one thing I wouldn't actually hate from Milkshake is either getting himself a GA or getting himself either a Zhonya's or something along those lines to get him to survive. I know it sounds troll, but if he survives and doesn't give Baniasti a chance to find that reset and the team bursts him out, you can't complain with that, can you? Seems a lot more worth it in those eyes as Lazy. In difficult times here.
Yep, Hex Flash from Touch over the wall. They will get the pick onto the support. And without the Maokai ultimate, defending against Unique becomes that much more difficult. Deadhound left alone to pick up the wave will soon be approaching the final inhibitor tower that's standing on the blue side base. They're looking for Archfiend though, using a ton of resources. The Viego just decides, yeah, this is not worth it. They used a ton of resources, they're gonna play with it. With no cease and desist and no killer instinct, the Kai'Sa is a huge target for any sort of picks.
Yeah, Nautilus's ultimates, there's easy ways on top of it. It's Lazy, trying to clear this wave as much as possible.
Touch, again, quite squishy. One more W should be enough to kill. We'll be able to make it away. Just taking a nice chunk of damage.
Warmog's available, going to be able to tank that thing up, and with this GA available, Unique are in a solid position where even if one person gets caught out by Archfiend, you still have the GA, so then Badias, if he gets caught out, can just get himself up and to save times. So Lazy and Life, very difficult to now take it, and it's felt like Lazy, with this Arya Vi combo, is incredible in the early game, right? You're able to do stuff from level 6 to about 2 to 3 items, and then it starts turning over to the mid-jungle of Unique. When you see this Viego, when you see the amount of damage Dusty can pump out, you definitely see why this is better later on.
The thing is, Vi Ari isn't bad late game. It's just
not good enough.
Dusty and Bananesti are just playing so well and making this duo work. There's so many squishy members on the side of Lazy that are mostly building HP or just lacking magic resistance. So this LeBlanc is wreaking havoc on anyone that is in reach.
I still don't hate a Zhonya's or a GA on Milkshake. I really like that. Just to give him survivability so Baniasi can't find that reset.
They're going on to Strato, taking a ton of damage already, trying to save the reset. Goes into GA, but Tidebringer's already gone. Dusty found the Kaisa, and with that, sure, the Viego may be out of the fight, but can you deal with the rest of Unique chasing you down? Archfiend slowly but surely falling. Sterak Shield keeps him alive for now. The super minions are there to play with, and it's Milkshake getting chased down by Touch, not letting the Vi base at all. It's up to Pebble and Strato to defend against this. The hook won't be enough to interrupt the recall. They get another member to defend with, but Archfiend teleporting in. Dusty's on a killing spree. Where did the Ari go? Milkshake and Strato on the front line is only ones left to deal with this shutdown for the Cassante, but the Nexus towers are falling down. Unique have made the comeback and close out the game 3-0 to move up against Rich Gang.
Guys, if you're the Lazy in Life fan, that is heartbreaking to watch. They were moments away from finding that first game and maybe finding that clean sweep. But Viego, a champion, which clearly they just didn't have enough in the tank to deal with. And they finally found the kill in that last fight. But once GA starts coming out for that champion, you might kill him once, but you have to kill him twice to finish it off. So really well played by Unique. And they are looking a lot stronger today than they did in their last series.
Indeed. I just feel like the word is clean. They didn't have too many mistakes. And especially when we look at game 2, it went pretty much with no mistakes other than the... No, there was one solo kill up on the top side of the map, but other than that, it was just clean League of Legends, macro gameplay, and they closed out the game beautifully in that one.
100%. Macro was on a different level to before. Of course, you have to give them a little bit more of that last game because in the last series, had a different top laner, had a different support. So now with the full roster together, they feel more decisive. And the question I really have to think about, and for you as well, is can this team go further? Can they get themselves towards that final? Because Rich Gang, a difficult opponent coming up next for them. I believe that they can put up a fight, but is this good enough of a roster right now to get themselves towards those finals?
I think they definitely have the chance to do it, and they are playing off of a Division 1 promotion series spots in that series against Rich Gang, so they better come out swinging. Well, figure it out. I think... Do we have an interview, production? We do have an interview, so we will go on a short break and we'll come back with Dusty from Unique. we are joined by, this is not Chrissy, this is Dusty from Unique, the mid laner
it's a
joining
plant.
us. Congratulations on the win. You are one step closer to Division 1 qualifiers.
Hello, hello. Yeah, that's our goal, and we're doing everything that we can to make it.
Yeah. And, the series today was honestly quite impressive. Just a clean-ish 3-0. The third game was a bit more difficult. Did you guys, heading into this, expect this to go the way it did?
I mean, yeah, I think we knew that it's favored us this game, but I expected us to drop like one game maybe. But I think we played good,
It,
Yeah,
it
you
was
did.
close.
so it was 3-0.
Yeah, really well played around the side lane in from the first game to the last game. And the big question was first, second game, very clearly you guys are going to win that. But how are you guys feeling when you started to make that comeback in the third game?
Yeah, the third game was really close. We trolled the early game, and then the fights really turned out good with the Viego resets. Yeah, it felt good. We had the momentum, and we ended the game.
Yeah, completely agree with you there, especially when you guys are able to have your full team back together. You had a substitute in your last game. Of course, you guys going against Rich Gang next. There's going to be a position up to try and get back into Division 1. Are you guys preparing anything unique for that, or is everything just going to be the same?
I can't say much, but we did some draft preparation for them, so you will see.
A little teaser, a little teaser.
No, I don't think.
Something that you can answer though is, as a mid laner, I've been watching the mid lane meta form in Division 2 in the playoffs and overall in EMEA Masters. This series kind of broke the tradition of the AD carry mid laners. And we know that you love playing the Zeri and the Corki. All of a sudden, we're back to Orianna, Azir, and Ari. What happened?
I just think that they're playing a lot heavy on mid, like 2v2, 3v3. So it was kind of hard to pick like Zeri because I would get permacaught. And I also feel good on ape jumps too, because I used to play them a lot. So I can do both.
I mean, figures you played them a lot considering you're a pretty experienced mid laner. But yeah, last but not least, do you have any shoutouts you want to give to anyone before we go?
Yes, shout out to my family and my teammates. I love you all.
Aww.
Oh, so. But yes, congratulations once more. We'll see you next time facing off against Rich Gang.
Yeah, thank you.
But with that, the victorious Dusty heads back to his team that he so much loves. And Zatos, even though it was a 3-0, we still got a whole ton of actions with that series.
Yeah, that last series, absolute blast of cast Carvis, especially when you're getting into it. I'm like, okay, he's feeling it now. Reset after reset after reset. Absolute blast here. NLC Division 2, pretty close to coming to an end. Only have a couple series left, but so far, Carvis, been absolutely a pleasure casting alongside you.
Absolutely. Same to you. With that, we are ready to close things off. I think the next series is, let me double check so I don't lie to you, is on Tuesday. So that will be Rich Gang against Unique at the same time, same place. Remember to check that out. I've been Carvis. Thank you, Sanders, for joining me, and we are ready to sign out. Thank you for watching. Eventually.